Shalom.
Shalom.
All glory and praise and honor to the Most High Power, Haya Shahaya, Bahashem, Mashiach, Shai, Wakodash, Wak. This is our Shema. We got the brother back with us. Glory to the Most High.
Praise to the higher. Salak to Zah.
We got the holy seed of Jeshurun that set apart offspring of Yasha'Allah, turning back to him with all our heart, might, and strength to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, faith in the Mashiach Yeshai, and the fruits of the walk of Dash, right? We blessed coming for y'all this evening. We're going to do a lesson today, prophecy, end time prophecy, and break down through the spirit, some things that's going to be going on before the return of our King, before the glorious return of our King Yeshai, right? And so we're going to jump right in. We got a lot of material to bring out, and let's go ahead and get started on Matthew chapter 24. We'll start there. Okay, yes, let's bring it out. Let's bring out the Shema, right? And understand this is not a prayer. This is a greeting, right? And so we just want to greet all our brothers throughout the four corners of the earth. Here in Jordan, tuning in, to greet y'all as a brother, right? Go ahead and bring it out in the Hebrew, and then we'll say it in the English.
All right. Shema, Yasharallah, Ahaya, Allah, Nawa, Ahaya, Akkad.
Shema, Yasha'Allah, Ahaya, Allah, Nawa, Ahaya, Akkad.
Yeah.
Now we're going to read it in English, Deuteronomy 6 and 4.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4.
Yeah.
Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power.
Hear, O Israel, Ahaya, our power is one, right? We don't deal with the triune situation. We have one power, and his son is of the Elohim, which means collection of powers. But the Most High and the Son are not co-equal. The Father is above him. All right, and we worship the Father and the Father only in the name of his Son, King Mashiach Yeshai, right? So let's go ahead and get in the scriptures. And we start first at Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. And what we're going to be breaking down today, is just through the study, Most High showing us, things the words say that knowledge will increase in the last days. So we're going to bring out, some things regarding some works that are going to be happening in the earth before the return, of Yeshai, right? So things to look out for. Yeshai said, watch and pray, right? So we're going to give you some things to look for, to watch for, right? While you're in prayer. Go ahead, Al.
So this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
That's right.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Right. So nobody's saved right now. All right. We are living under grace, right? So this time period of grace, meaning that we're not getting judged, right? So you can repent and you're under that grace to where you can get back on track and keep the laws, right? But salvation comes from enduring to the end. And we're going to speak on some of the things that you got to endure to make it to the end, to be saved, right? To receive your salvation. Also, gospel is the good news, right? We want to know exactly what the gospel is. The gospel was brought out in Isaiah chapter 61, as good tidings, right? And Isaiah being a prophet unto the nation of Israel, these good tidings apply to the people that are spoken of in Isaiah 61, chapter 1, 2, and 3. All right, it's not a universal thing. This is an exclusive thing, right? So understand that. Come on.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation.
The abomination of desolation, right? We're going to go on to that. Come on.
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand.
Whoso read and understand. We're going to give y'all the understanding of what the abomination of desolation actually is, right? One more, come on.
Let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Right, so this is a warning, right? Yeshua gave the apostle just asking, what's going to be the signs of the end? What's all these things going to happen in the last days? And this is one of the things that he told them throughout this whole chapter. Matthew 24, he said, you see these things, flee into the mountains, get away, right? Get up out of there, right? Now, this same type of attack is going to happen again, man. The word said there's nothing new under the sun. And so these same prophecies, they have a twofold meaning. They're applying to us today, y'all. I'm going to show you one of the things we're supposed to be watching for in reference to the abomination of desolation, right? So we had Deuteronomy chapter 14.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 3.
Come on.
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Mm-hmm. So the word says in our dietary law that we should not eat any abominable thing, right? So we're going to go right to the abominable thing that is referenced in the abomination of desolation. Go ahead and drop down to verse 8.
Verse 8 of chapter Deuteronomy, verse 14. And the swine.
Say it right. Deuteronomy 14.
Deuteronomy 14, verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof.
So the swine is the pig, right? And it divides the hoof, right? Here his feet look like this.
Yet cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't regurgitate his food and chew it up to make sure it properly digests, right?
It is unclean unto you.
Is what?
It is unclean unto you.
It's unclean. We're not supposed to eat it. It defiles our temple. It is a sin. This is the transgression of the law. It's a commandment. Don't eat it. Come on.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
So we're not even supposed to touch it when it's dead, right? That's how much unclean it is. That's how much of an abomination it is. Don't touch this thing, right? So we're breaking down what the abomination of desolation is, right? The abomination is this swine, right? It is this swine. Now let's go to Isaiah 66:16. Get some precepts to back that up right quick. Isaiah chapter 66, and verse 16.
See, Isaiah 66, verse 16.
This is at the time of return to Yeshua. He's going to have to put up with this mess, right? Come on.
We have, for by fire and by his sword,
the word,
will the Most High plead with all flesh.
He's going to judge all flesh.
And the slain of the Most High shall be many.
Come on.
That they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens.
So they're going to separate themselves in the gardens and do what?
Behind one tree in the midst.
Hiding behind a tree.
Eating swine's flesh.
Eating swine's flesh. But we just read in the Most High says abomination. I mean, that there, I mean, hey, we was introduced to that in captivity, and a lot of us can't seem to leave that alone. I don't know how you can get blessed to get back in the land and still battle after the grace and the mercy of the Most High and still want to mess with this swine. But somebody's going to be doing it, or would be written here in Scripture, right? Go ahead.
And the abomination.
And the abomination. So this let you know again that this swine is an abomination. It's a thing that the Most High hate.
And the mouse.
And the mouse
shall be consumed together.
So go ahead.
Saith the Most High.
So they're going to be judged together and we burn with fire, right? Because what? We should not touch the swine. It's an abomination unto the Most High, right? Let's get Malachi chapter 1 and verse. We probably start at verse 1.
Okay. Malachi chapter 1, verse 1.
So the abomination is the pig. Now let's get the desolation. Abomination of desolation. So this abomination is going to come from desolation. Let's see what the desolation is.
The burden of the word of the Most High to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Most High. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Most High? yet I love Jacob.
He said he loved the 12 tribes of Israel, Jacob.
And I hated Esau.
And he what?
And I hated Esau.
Come on.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
So there was a time when the Most High judged Esau, put him down, right? And had his kingdoms crumble down, right? This under the Byzantine Empire, to be exact, right? This is under when the Moors, okay, these Israelites that were mercenaries and some of them forced into Islam and being titled Moors, Morenos, right? And was fighting in the Byzantine Empire. Beat these dudes back, you know, beat them back, took over their lands, right? About 4,000 years in what they call the Dark Ages. Come on.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 4 says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
And they built the what?
The desolate places.
So these are the people of the desolate, right? These are the children of the desolate that the Most High put them in that position. And they saying, we're going to come build up the what?
The desolate places.
Desolate places, read.
Thus saith the Most High of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
He said, you're going to build, but I'm going to knock it right back down. Come on.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right when you come upon something that is wicked, that's when you meet a so-called Edomite, a so-called white man today. According to scripture, you're starting to begin to deal with wickedness. That's who this nation is as a whole. When you come into their habitation, when you start to deal, you're dealing with wickedness. That's it, the scripture. Come on.
And the people against whom the Most High hath indignation forever.
Most High said he got a righteous hatred toward these people forever. Forever. That's scripture. That's the Old Testament, you know, which is valid, but I say that to let you know, you got to read the whole book. Okay. You can get a breakdown in the New Testament. And if you haven't read the Old Testament, then your breakdown is probably going to be wrong. All right. It's not the focus point, but we bring it out how the Most High feeling about these people, and they are the children of the desolate. Let's back that up. Let's get Daniel chapter 11 and start at verse 30.
Okay. In the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 30.
Right. For
the ships of Kittim shall come against him.
Right.
Therefore he shall be grieved and return.
So this is talking about the ships of Kittim or Rome coming against this king in the Grecian Empire. And he was coming to, you know, start to take over. So the king of Grecia wanted to come back down into his territories, which their whole empire was broken down into 4 different provinces. When Alexander the Greek passed away at a young age, part of his kingdom amongst 4 his generals from the days of his youth. So this one king was like, he was feeling the heat, feeling the pressure of the Romans coming, and he wanted to go back down into Jerusalem and, you know, flex his little power one more time. So this is what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant.
That's against us. Come on.
So shall he do it. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant.
So they've always had intelligence against us, right? They've always had an understanding on how to attack us, how to get the victory over us. You read accounts in Judith, you read in Esther, right? You get understanding that even in the Maccabees, that if we're keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you're not going to beat us. You might as well just go mess with somebody else, right? So he had the intelligence, right? Knowing that the source of our strength and our power is with our power when we keep in the commandments and we're keeping that covenant, right? Come on. So we're gonna keep going. Read. Go ahead and read down 30. We'll come down some more. Okay. 31.
In the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 31.
Come on.
An arm shall stand on his part, and it shall pollute the sanctuary.
So they're going to pollute the sanctuary. Sanctuary is a holy, clean place to sacrifice unto the Most High. He said, we're going to come pollute it. Come on.
of strength,
because that's where we got our strength, right?
and shall take away the daily sacrifice.
This is what the rams, the goats, lambs, all the holy animals that we would come put. He said they're going to take that away and do what?
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
Read that part again.
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
See, this is the abomination desolation that Yeshai was quoting Daniel, right? They're going to take away the clean sacrifices, and we're going to put an unclean sacrifice on there. That what? That make it desolate, right? Because when this altar and this temple is defiled and we're not sacrificing, just as it says in verse 30, that is the verse 31. It says the sanctuary is our strength. We're not going to have no strength. We're not going to have no hedge, no protection. They're going to be able to do us how they want to do us, right? This is an important thing that they're doing as a conquering nation as they approach us. This is how they got to get at us, right? Give me go ahead and read 33.
33. And they that
32.
Sorry. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
So that'll be your TD Jakes today, your Creflo Dolls today, people sellouts, right? I'll give you position. I'll let you get big old church, flattering them, getting them to turn against the holy customs the Most High gave us. And not only be down with their empire, but be a negative influence to their brethren, for them to walk after the wicked ways too. Got all our brothers, got all our nation in Christianity, and teaching them lies, teaching them stuff that make them stay continually in sin, right? Teaching you ain't got to keep the law, teaching worship the Most High on first day, Sunday, So this thing is not nothing new. They've been doing this ever since these days of old, right?
But the people that do know their power shall be strong and do exploit.
So we know that we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in the faith in the Mashiach Yeshai, and that's what's going to get us the victory. That's going to get any power up off us. No weapon will ever prosper against us when we being upright. Never, right? Keep going.
Says, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days.
So just breaking down how we was getting broke down, man, in this captivity. It was prophesied, and these things that were happening. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go to the next. I want to go a little bit more. Let me see. All right, yeah, let's go to Daniel chapter 9 and 26. So we're going to get the account, right? A second account of the abomination desolation. This is saying this abomination desolation we set up by the king of Grecia, right? So we're going to read another one in Daniel, right? This is not the same one. So go ahead and go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 26.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off.
So this one of Mashiach's going to be on earth. This is after the Grecian captivity. Now we're in the Roman captivity because they're the ones that put him to death. Read.
Says, but not for himself, and the people of the prince that shall come.
And the people of the prince that shall come. Who are the people of the prince? These are the Romans, right? How do we know? We're going to show you. Go ahead.
Shall destroy the city and the sanctuary.
So whoever these people are the prince was in secular history, because it's not showing you in the word at this specific time, but it's prophesying that the people who destroy the city and the sanctuary, come on.
And the end thereof shall be with a flood.
Flood of murder, come on.
And until the end of the war, desolations are determined.
What's determined?
Desolations are determined.
Desolation, destruction is determined. Mind you, these people that were made desolate by the Most High, they want to flip the script and they want to make everybody else desolate. They want to make everybody else down. They want to tear everybody else down, right? And so this happened by the Romans, right? And the Most High, and they did this after the death of Mashiach Yeshai, right? when from 66 AD to 73 AD, they took out all of Israel, right? Now, go ahead and read 27.
Verse 27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week.
So that week is 7 years, right? So this is our 7 years we currently in right now, just about coming up on the 3.5 year mark. And it was also a 7 year period that they did all this from 66 AD to 73 AD, right? This is twofold prophecy. Come on.
And in the midst of the week,
in the middle of the week, sometime all up in the week, what's going to happen?
He shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease.
So that's talking about in the present day time, the famine, the forced famine, the manufactured famine that they're bringing on earth right now. They're paying farmers not to sell their crops right now. All right. This is in Babylon right now, America. They're paying all those farmers down south right now not to sell their crops. And they said that they do sell them, we're going to dock you 30%. You're only going to make 70% profit off your food. But if you don't sell it, we'll pay you the whole amount. Just keep it and don't sell it at all. This is what they're doing. All right. They got ships, they got carts on seaports right now full of food that they're letting sit there. They're not unloading them, they're not taking store. They're about to tell you it's a famine. They're going to tell you. And this is how they're going to control you, because everybody needs food, everybody needs air, everybody needs water. You can get the free air, you might find some free water somewhere, but food, and that's going to be an issue, right? And this is how they're going to control people. Another way how they're going to control people, make you take the mark of the beast, right? Come on.
And for the overspreading of abominations,
for the overspreading of the abominations, it's going to make wickedness everywhere. I got to bring this out. Do y'all know, right, that this medicine that they, pushing on everybody right now, that it is not halal, right? See, we in this Arab country, halal means it's pork free, right? Do you know that there's pork in that, y'all? They're gonna spread this abomination all over, because they're gonna dose everybody up with the substance that's in there that's gonna already jack you up mentally, spiritually, and health-wise. Now they're gonna overspread the abomination, the pork coming into your temple, into your tabernacle, right? All over the earth. Look it up, y'all. Look it up. I think it's only one vaccine in the world that's pork free. And I don't want to just say something like I know it all, but I think, I'm not sure. I know it's over on the east, over in this area somewhere. But there's only one vaccine in the world that doesn't have pork in it. Y'all, they got pork in it, y'all. Overspreading abomination all throughout the earth, man. Come on.
It says, he shall make it desolate.
And there they go again, trying to make the world, trying to make the nation desolate. This is what they're trying to do. Come on.
Even into the consummation, slaughtered, and the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate.
So the Most High said, when you build up, I'm gonna knock it down. He said, they're gonna do this dirt. They're gonna try to get everyone to live abominably. They're going to destroy, they're going to conquer, they're going to try to control the earth all the way into the consummation when we get brought back, prepared as a bride unto the Most High Son, bringing back on the earth. So this is not going to stop. COVID, the whole COVID thing is not an episode that's going to end. It's going to keep on going until your shot gets back, y'all. Just letting y'all know. It's not going to pass over and you're going to get to do this. Yeah, it ain't. It's going to be another variant after this variant. It's going to keep on being variants and new information and new regulations until everybody is vaccinated. That's just how it's going to go.
We like on Delta, there's going to be Gamma.
They might go to the whole alphabet.
Zeta.
Straight up. This is the truth, y'all, right? But we keep our mind fixed on the Most High, man. We got perfect peace. All right, we're not stressing, we're not tripping, we're not worried. We're going to do what the Most High saying. We're going to trust him, right? Let's go ahead and go to First Ezra chapter 4, verse 43. As I understand, y'all, they are dealing with our temple because that is what we sacrifice. Now understand, now our bodies is the temple, right? This is why it's important to understand that there's pork in that medicine because that's defiling what our present day way of worship to the Most High is by. It's by our temple. And we can't defile this, just like the temple can't be defiled from getting swine's flesh sacrificed on, right? So they just like they destroyed the temple, defiled the temple there, they're trying to destroy and defile your temples today. Because we are the temple. They can't go mess with a building and an altar now. They trying to mess with us because we're temples, all of us, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna show you, right, that every time we've had a temple, whether it's our physical bodies or it's a temple that was built up in Jerusalem, in Mount Zion, it's always been a point, a place that of attack for Edom. Okay, they've always, right? You might say, what's he talking about? The Babylonians came and conquered us. We're gonna read about it. Go ahead and read on the second Ezra. First Ezra chapter 4.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 43. Then said he unto the king, remember thy vow which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem.
So he talking about Cyrus, man. You said you're gonna let him build it up, take the holy vessels back, right?
In the day when thou camest to the kingdom, and to send away all the vessels that were taken away out of Jerusalem.
Right. So when he came into power, he said, I'm gonna do this. The Most High put on my spirit to build him a house, right?
Which Cyrus set apart when he vowed to destroy Babylon and to send them again thither.
Right. So he's gonna send them out of Persia, Persia, and go back home under Nehemiah, Ezra, build a second temple. Go ahead.
Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burnt when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
So when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees being a sect of Babylonians, it says who? Read that again for him.
It said, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
So the Edomites crept in, on the low, while the Babylonians was enslaving us, burning some of our houses and cities. They crept in and went right to the temple and burned it up. Okay. So you got to understand that every single time our temple has been destroyed, which has been destroyed 2 times, the physical temple has been by the Edomites, so-called white men, the Romans today, right? Because they know this is our source of our strength, right? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6 and 11. We're going to break down the people of the prince, right? This is who Daniel said is going to come, and they're going to destroy the city, Jerusalem, and the sanctuary, and make it desolate. So let's break it down and make sure who these people are. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of Ahiah,
That's right.
that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That's right. Keep going.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Where are these spiritual wickedness at?
In high places.
In high places. Understand, y'all. Satan, right, bound on earth, kicked out of heaven, no more access to the heavens, the heaven of heavens, right? Him and his demons, they are in the air. This is where they reside. Know this, man. He's the prince of the power of the air. And that also is in charge of the waves, the airwaves, the radio waves. Okay, he was in charge of music when he was in the heavens. Understand, he has the authority in the air, right?
He got control over music now.
That's right. That's right. This is one of his main tools of manipulation, of deceit, of programming, right? Is through music. So this man who we have to be in a spiritual aware of and fight him in the spirit, right? The way we get the victory is through the Ruach Kodash, right? Because that's where we get our power to fight this type of enemy. We ain't fighting carnally. We've got to fight him spiritually, right? And it says that he is the prince of the power. It says that he is the he said that this is the he's a spiritual, this is against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is in the air. All right. This is where he's at. Let's go to Ephesians 2:2.
I just wanted to bring out an observation.
Mhm.
That's one of the real drawing points of churches, music.
Mhm.
You know, it's not so much as the word. People aren't captivated by the word because most of the people who are in church, they don't even know it's even about them.
Mhm.
You know, they find grace through the New Testament, through Paul, but in reality, it's the music. Anybody can listen to the music all day, and after music is played, so is that offering plate passed around.
Mhm.
So that right there, it captivates us, but that's the lust of the flesh.
Mhm. And that's a good point too, because it's a lot of entertainment that's going on to where it's like you're really paying for it acquired to see someone, move in a certain way, right? With the Bible and with the scriptures. And we got to speak on these things, the scriptures, man, give you understanding of what the Holy Spirit is and what you're going to do, right? There's ancient rituals in India, all right, people singing and jumping all over the place that's being done today all over Babylon, America, and churches all over the world, and we think that it's scriptural. You got to study. You got to really care to see what you're doing. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's get it on Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. 2, start at 1.
Okay, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1.
Yeah.
And you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins.
So we're in the valley of dry bones, dead, right? He done quickened us, man, and forgive us of our sins, and now we live it, right? Come on.
Where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world.
So we were worldly, okay? We weren't set apart unto the Most High. We following all the ways of other nations, right?
According to the prince of the power of the air.
According to the prince, which is an angel of the power of the air, read.
The spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
The children of who?
Disobedience.
So there is a prince who Daniel said the people of the prince are going to come and destroy the tabernacle. And now we define this prince as a prince of the power of the air that dwells in high places. And his children are the ones that work in this disobedience, right? So the only way to declare unequivocally who these people are is just to look at history, right? And when you look at history, it was the Roman Empire that destroyed Jerusalem, 66 AD, 73 AD under General Vespasian and his son Titus. And in the midst of that destruction, they destroyed the sanctuary, right? And they did a whole lot more. We're gonna read about that too. Let's get St. John 14:30. Just to bring out one more precept.
Okay.
St. John chapter
14, verse 30.
Yeah.
Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me. So
again, Yeshua is about to get captured and crucified for the sins of Israel. And he's giving his apostles word, like, the people of the prince, what does it say?
People of the prince.
People of the prince.
Of this world cometh.
Of this world. Letting you know, Moses said in St. John 3:16, for I have so loved the world. It can't be this world right here that he's about to let come kill his son. No, for sure. That ain't the same world that he sent his son for. That world he sent himself for is a harmonious arrangement, which is the nation of Israel. It can be proven in scripture, Isaiah 45:17, and Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's chapter 18 and verse 21 and 22, right? So understand, he said that people of the prince, same people we keep on giving you precepts to break who they down, the Romans, they about to come get me, right? Who were these people that came and got them? The Romans, right? So the abomination of desolation are Edomites, Romans, who are going to take an abomination, which is the pig, and set it up. Right? This is what Yeshua prophesied in Matthew 24. It said, when you see the abomination, desolation set up, right? Then you got to flee to the mountain. Then you got to know the destruction's coming. You got to get up out of there. This is the prophecy and the breakdown of what that is. Now, there's still more, there's more understanding on what this is, because as you know, we don't have a standing temple right now. And I gave you a twofold understanding about how they got poured inside the medicine, but it's a whole grander carnal situation that's going to go down too, right? We're going to get into that right now too.
Even with pork, one of the things that we played most was football. Football, pigskin.
Right.
You know, so everything in relation comes right back to the abomination.
Yes.
And we partake it highly in the abomination. It's not about other nations, because once again, this is very exclusive and not inclusive. We're set apart holy people.
All right, so now let's go to 2 Chronicles 2 and 6.
2 Chronicles chapter 2, verse 6. But who is able to build him an house?
I was gonna build a most high house. He dwell in heaven, right?
Seeing the heaven and heavens of heaven cannot contain him.
Come on.
Who am I then that I should build him an house?
Solomon asked Most High, who am I to build him a house?
Say only to burn sacrifice before him.
So it's to save only. The only reason I'm building this house, because it can't contain you, is so I can sacrifice to you, so I can praise you, so I can worship you, right? So understand, the temple was there as a place of worship to the Most High. We can gather together on one accord, on a feast day, and go according to the ordinance and give him sacrifice through what? Through animals, right? There's an altar there, right? And we would the Levites would take the sacrifice and set it on the altar, and it's a burnt offering unto the Most High. So what we bring out is that a temple is for sacrifice to a power, and I say that because Satan also have people that sacrifice to him, right? Also, bring out something else. Sacrifice is done on what the scriptures call high places, right? Mount Zion is a high mountain when you read and study. And on this high place is where the temple was, Temple Mount, right? On Mount Zion. And you have to go up to this high place to sacrifice to the Most High, right? So it's a high place and a temple that is required when sacrifice done to the Most High, and would say, you could say you want to be like the Most High. He mimicking everything he do, right? So let's bring up this word, right? I want to define this word.
Swabataria.
Yes. Let's bring up this word. I want y'all to get an understanding of what this word is, and we're gonna move forward. Share the screen for them, yeah. Or if you want to Google it, yeah. We can do that. There are rites and there are certain rituals that other nations that are high is not their power. They do these rituals, and it has spiritual significance to them because it's to their deity, right? The word says that you know, spell it. SUOBATVET. There it is right there. Pronounce that for me, huh?
Swabataria.
Let's go down.
It's a Latin word.
Let's read that definition right there. What is it?
Swabataria was an ancient Roman sacrifice in which a pig, a sheep, and a bull were sacrificed.
You see that? Now, I want y'all to know something. This ancient Roman sacrifice, we just proved to you, are the people of the prince of the air, right? This is something that they would sacrifice whenever they conquered a certain land, a certain province in the empire. They would pay homage, okay, to their deity, and they would sacrifice the pig, right? This term right here,
Suavitaria.
Savataria, that is like law with them, right? That's law. They gonna do that, right? This is why when they went into Jerusalem, they didn't just want to destroy the tabernacle and the sanctuary. They had to set up the abomination desolation, right? And they sacrificed a pig on our altar because that is an abominable animal.
Right. Even up here it says it.
Yes, go ahead and break that down.
It said one of the most sacred and traditional rites, which is rituals of Roman religion. The sacrifice of a pig, a sheep, and a bull to the deity Mars to bless and purify land.
Right. So that's what they named the month March after, in case you don't know. It's after that planet, right? They deal with all the planets. They name, if you really think about it,
That's all they talk about.
And the weeks is after planets.
Right.
Right.
Mars is the thing. Mars.
So let's break it down. Let's go to First Maccabees. Chapter 1, and we'll show the first time that these that these Edomites went in and did some abominable, setting up the abomination desolation in Israel. All right, we're going to show you when they did this, right? And Daniel prophesied of this. So we're going to read the first prophecy we read in Daniel chapter 11, and then we'll go into the second prophecy, right? So First Maccabees
chapter 1, verse 41.
Yeah.
And it reads, moreover, King Antiochus.
This is that king right now, verse King Antiochus, read.
Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Now, there's a whole lot behind that statement, y'all. I don't know if y'all know. Okay, because in the Tower of Babel, they had everybody under one tongue being able to communicate. And then what did they do? They did something wicked before the Most High. So this thing right here is wicked, especially for us because the Most High made us holy, set us apart. Right? Keep going.
And everyone should lead his laws.
So this is pertaining to us since it's in our book. They want us to stop keeping Sabbath, stop circumcising our children, our sons on the 8th day. Just start eating pork. You know, they said, leave your laws. Come on.
So all the heathen agreed.
All the non-Israelites agreed.
According to the commandment of the king.
Yeah,
many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So we had some Israelites like, you know what, these dudes are looking fierce. They about to take us down. I'm gonna just give me a spot within their empire and just be down with them. Yeah, come on.
And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath.
Start turning against the Holy Covenant. Come on.
For the king had sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the city of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
So they strange to us because we don't know what Grecians do. We don't be in that polytheist stuff, right? So it was strange to us. Go ahead.
And forbid burnt offerings.
They said we can't offer sacrifice unto our power in heaven. Come on.
And sacrifice and drinking offerings in the temple.
In our temple, in our place of worship.
And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
So all of our holy days, they said, no, you guys not doing that no more. You're not going to be able to rest. You're going to work. You're going to carry burdens. You're going to defile these Sabbaths and these holy days. Come on.
And pollute the sanctuary.
And what?
And pollute the sanctuary.
And pollute the sanctuary.
And holy people.
So this is what all us being one people wasn't telling for us. It was just going to make us go completely against the laws that the Most High gave us and have us being a defiled, unholy people now. Come on.
Set up altars and groves.
So this is how they polluted the sanctuary. They set up altars, not unto the Most High, and groves with your trees, which the Lord tells you, thou shalt not put a grove close to the altar, right? Go ahead.
And chapels of idols.
Now, idols.
And sacrifice swine's flesh.
Here they go again. Come on.
And unclean beasts.
So they sacrifice swine's flesh. This is the setting up of the abomination of desolation, spoken of Daniel, in the holy place, in the set apart place, where we supposed to be offering clean beasts unto the Most High. These dude came in there, man, and sacrifices a pig on our altar, man. This is the actual acting out of, what's that word again? Suavitaria?
Yes, suavitaria.
Suavitaria. right? We're going to come in, and when we conquer, we're going to desecrate and sacrifice to our power in your place of worship, and your place of sacrifice to your deity. We're going to come in and just do what we do, right? One more verse.
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
So we even made our own self abominable unto the Most High because we stopped following the laws, right? So understand, even though our body wasn't a temple then, they did some things then that even that made their temple unclean, made themselves unclean for the Most High, right? All right, let's go into Luke chapter 21 and verse 20. All right, so this is when the first abomination desolation was set up, defiled the tent tabernacle with the swine's flesh. And made it where we couldn't sacrifice to our power. Anyhow. So go ahead. So go ahead. Luke 21.
Luke 21, chapter 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
So when you see Jerusalem surrounded with armies,
then know that the desolation thereof is not.
The what?
Then that the desolation thereof is not.
This is the children of the desolate. They about to come do some damage. When you see them circle around Jerusalem, then you know it's about to go down. Come on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in countries enter thereinto.
Right, so it's about get up out of there, man. Don't grab no coat. Don't try to go grab a bottle of water. If you're in the field, just go on and get going. Don't even come back to the house because these dudes just come in ruthlessly to murder everything and lay the whole land desolate. That means it's nothing, right? Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance.
These are the days of vengeance, right?
That all things which are written may be fulfilled.
What was written, what Daniel was talking about, is about to be fulfilled, and how we were going to be scattered throughout all nations that hadn't been fulfilled yet. This is the curse in the law that hadn't been fulfilled yet, y'all. For all y'all that say that all the curses already happened. No, there's a curse for us to be scattered amongst all nations. The Jews were still in Judea right here. All right. So the curses still have not been fulfilled until we had to get scattered, kicked out of the land, and scattered to all nations and being sold into slavery. All right, amongst all nations. These today are you so-called blacks. You Mexicans of Aztec, Septec descent, you Native and Seminole Indians of Negro descent, Central Southern America, West Indies, Aboriginal of Australia, New Zealand, so-called blacks in India and in Mongolia, in China. We're everywhere. And it's a gang of us in sub-Saharan Africa, right? We are scattered all over. We are the true Israelites of the book, right? And we got to come back to the Most High, man, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith in Yeshua, and the fruits of the Ruach Kodesh spirit, right? Come on.
But woe unto them that are with child.
Destruction, calamity unto you that got kids right now.
And to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon these people.
So this famine that they about to pull out on you, it's gonna be real hard for y'all that ain't got no kids. Come on, man. Who don't got this love for their brand newborn baby and want to feed their babies, want to feed their kids, and you ain't got no food to feed your kids. That's a death for you and your baby. And this is something you're gonna have to think about and deal with and meditate on while it's happening. This destruction is gonna come, man. Oh, y'all, man, that's unfortunately to see, man, because things are opening up. And summertime, come on, that summertime, come, man. Everybody want to relax, want to go play. Unfortunately, you should be planning right now, planning for the things that are going to come. This is what Yeshua said, look, right? When you see these things, man, you should know, right? Come on.
Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
And all the Jews fell by the edge of the sword that was in Judea, and the same destruction is about to come again now. And we're breaking it down through the prophecy, how you're going to see the same prophecy is going to happen again now. Read.
and shall be led away captive into all nations.
But we're not going to be led in captive again. Now they're just going to come kill us because there's a birthright that's still in play. If they kill off all the seed of the promise of the promised children, then the remaining child, which Jacob had of brothers, Esau, he gets to get the promises by inheritance. So this was the plan. Let's kill off all the Jacob, and then we got to get the birthright. We can get our birthright back. We can get the promises, all the stuff that we sold to Jacob. We can get it back if we kill all Jacob off. This was going on. Y'all ready? You think there's some far-fetched stuff? It's right here in the Bible. This was going on. Come on.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
So it's going to be Gentiles living in Jerusalem till when?
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So that means until when Yeshua gets back, there's going to be Gentiles living in Jerusalem. Because when Yeshua gets back, ain't no Gentiles going to be running nothing. He's giving them their time to reign right now because of our disobedience. So this should tell you there's no way in the world there is a nation or a mass collection of real Israelites in Israel right now, because these are the times of the Gentiles that the scripture says they're going to be there until Yeshua gets back. Just telling you right here, easy. And it should help you understand why the Jewish people, they don't want to rock with the New Testament because they prophesy of their deceit right here. You understand? So what we're bringing out is that the abomination of desolation would be set up again, right? Got set up in the Grecian, during the Grecian captivity by Esau. And now we'll read about, let's get Josephus, and we're going to break down after Yeshua passed the prophecy, what he's talking about here. We're going to show you what happened when Rome came, because they came on in there. They were already governing the land, and policing the province. But when a lot of wars start happening, the zealots with some rebel Jews, like, man, we don't care who you is. We're gonna be doing covert attacks, killing y'all. We not gonna just be cool with y'all being here in our land. And they start raising up, and Rome got tired of it. On a deeper story, it was Israelites that were living even in Rome, scattered, right? From Judah and from the northern kingdom. But mainly from Judah, they was like, you know what? We want these Jews up out of here, right? Let's get these dudes out of here. So Nero, who was the king of Rome at the time, Caesar, he burned, I think, 10 blocks in Rome and blamed it on the Jews. That false flag, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of this stuff happens today, man. False flags, man. And use that as a pretext to kick us all out of Rome and then come destroy us. Yeah, I think this happened in 662 or 63 AD. There was a fire in Rome, and they set it themselves so they could have the excuse to come attack us.
Right. They always conspire against it. That's why people in modern day time, oh, it's the Jews that sold out Christ. Mm-hmm. They can't even give you a precept to prove it.
Right.
Who was all that he fed?
Right. Fed the 4 and the 5,000, two separate, right?
Yeah. So
let's bring that out.
This is the book of Josephus under the Wars of the Jews, book 6, chapter 6. And now the Romans.
What verse?
This is verse 1. Verse 1. Salakia. And now the Romans.
The Romans.
Upon the flight of the seditious into the city, and upon the burning of the holy house itself.
So they burned our holy house. Come on.
And all of the buildings lying around about it.
All the buildings all around.
It brought their ensigns.
They brought their ensigns, come on.
To the temple.
To the temple.
And set them over against its eastern gate.
So they set up their ensigns, come on.
And there did they offer sacrifices to them.
They offered what?
And they offered sacrifices to them.
Now, let me make sure y'all understand what's going on here. The ensigns, according to the Roman army, was those poles they used to carry. If you watch any movie like Gladiator or Troy, army back in the medieval times would hold up poles to like show who they are, and those people wouldn't even fight. They just hold it up, and it was like a proud position to like now how they say now don't let the American flag hit the ground. That's the same type of thing like that. And on the top of it, it would be banners on one because it'd be like 3 or 4 of them. These are ensigns. The banner with a SPQR, which mean Senate People of Rome. Okay, you seen that in Gladiator? He was scraping it off his arm, and it would be a banner, and that would be one of the ensigns. And then another banner would be the eagle, because that's how eagle exalt himself as the eagle. That's his. He loved to use that animal in all his kingdoms, right? And they would set these in stakes into the ground, just like when America take over certain countries, like World War II, and they put that flag on D-Day. When they made it across that harbor, they put the flag. The same thing. But when what they did is they set these idols up on poles, they put them in the ground, and then they sacrificed to them on our altar in the in front of the sanctuary.
Salaki, they also did it on the moon.
Right. So I think it looked more like Arizona to me, you know, on a dark night. But yeah, this is what they did. This is what we're reading about. Set up them ensigns and sacrifice, right? So you're having an understanding that this is something that Esau does, and we're going to bring it all the way home for you to know that this sacrifice is a ritual of burning a pig as a worship to their deity. All right. And we're showing you that even it's just how we worship our Father. Okay. They do the same thing because Satan want to be like a higher, right? Is that it on that?
No, and there did they make Titus imperator with the greatest acclamations of joy.
So Titus was the son of Vespasian that made him governor. That's another word for governor over that region, right? That's it on it?
Yeah, yes.
All right. So now let's get on to Revelation 2 and 12. Now we're going to get into the meat of what we're going to really want to talk about, right? You know, we always got to set the table. Now we're ready to eat, right? Look here. All right, let's go ahead and go to Revelation chapter 2 and verse
12. Revelation chapter 2, verse 12. And to the angel of the church in Pergamos.
Angel of the church of Pergamos. Pergamos is modern day Bergamo in Turkey. Read.
Write, these things said he, which hath the sharp sword with 2 edges.
This is Yeshai. Read.
I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is.
Where what?
Even where Satan's seat is.
So in Pergamos, it's saying that's where Satan's seat is. Read.
And thou holdest fast my name.
But you still serving me. You're not dealing with Satan.
And has not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr. So
Antipas is a man that died for the truth, right? In Pergamos, read.
Who was slain among you.
He was slain among you.
Where Satan dwelleth.
Where Satan dwelleth. Now, all praise your name, Hayabashim Yeshai. What the angle of study was to understand is what is that mean when it says Satan's seat and where Satan dwelleth? Is his spirit there? Are they worshiping him there? And if they are, how, right? So when we look up Antipas, it says that Antipas was burnt, right? It says Antipas was burnt. He says he was burnt, y'all. Alive, wrapped in cowhide and burnt. All right. So he was offered as a sacrifice, right? Let's go on and get into this. Pull up this article right quick.
Yeah.
I want y'all to, we're going to break some of this down, y'all. Let's pull up the article. All right, what you see on the screen? It says, go back on here. Anything else? Go back here, right? Oops, That's one of the pictures, right? You're gonna go. Okay, here we go. The Pergamum altar and the throne of Satan. That's what we want right there. So, as you can see, in Pergamos, there was a temple. Go ahead and click on this right quick.
Resume share. Selected.
Okay, so it's showing that.
That's when it becomes paused. I see. Resume share. I'm gonna just have to grab this. Which is no words. Copy. Go back here.
Okay. You got all documents with her, or just this first page?
No, this is it right here.
Okay, so as you seen on the screen, it's saying the altar of, scroll down so we can see the title.
Okay.
Okay, right there, the altar, the Pergamum altar and the throne of Satan. Mind you, y'all, this is, scroll up, looking at these pictures, this is the actual site where there was a temple and an altar built unto Satan. This is Satan's seat, y'all. All right?
Yeah.
And
if you notice, I had a tree there, and it's looked like it's overlooking everything.
You got groves around it, right? Now, what we're showing you is that inside of this temple there was an altar, right? And we're going to read about this temple and its altar so you can understand the seat of Satan and what it has to do with the abomination of desolation. You understand? So let's go ahead and scroll up. Scroll up to the next page. Now you see this first map, it says Pergamum, right? If you see that, all the church that Pergamos is in the same region of that region is called Ephesus. All right, Ephesus is in that realm. And we're going to show you and tie that in the scripture to show you who they're worshiping under this in this Pergamum altar that was a throne for Satan. This is his seat, right? Go ahead and read right here, Pergamum.
Okay. Pergamum was an ancient Greek city located in the western part of what is now modern Turkey.
Right.
The technique of preparing sheepskins as parchment was developed here.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning of the word Pergamum is to be thoroughly married, as in thoroughly married to the world.
So this place is where you could be in complete opposition to the Most High and be married unto Satan through your worship of him, in which ways we're going to show you right now. Keep going.
The text of Revelation reads,
it's what we just read in Revelation.
Where Satan's throne is, it was no mere seat. This statement stems from the fact of the extreme idolatry and demonic nature of the statement, of the religious activity connected with the worship of the serpent god of Asclepius.
So this deity that it was also being worshipped there, he is the deity of the serpent, because you know, when you see that pole with the two snakes around it in the medical field, that comes from the sorcery that was practiced there under this deity. All right. This is where that comes from. So it's letting you know that the highest levels of satanic worship and idolatry were being done in Pergamos. Right? Keep going.
Says, son of Apollo.
Son of Apollo, go ahead.
The worship of the Emperor of Rome.
The Emperor of Rome worship there.
And the persecution these Christians faced as a result.
So this is what Yeshua was saying. I know y'all holding fast my name because I know it's people that's being killed there for this truth. Even Antipas, my faithful martyr, because this thing was happening there on a wide scale, right? They trying to serve the Most High, and they're in the same city as the capital of the whole world where people kill people that are in opposition unto Satan. Come on.
And it says, The truly Satan worship was concentrated there.
Okay, so now let's drop down here.
Okay. In his condemnation of the assembly of Pergamum, Yeshai judges two things: their toleration for the teacher of Baalim and their toleration of the Nicolaitans.
The Nicolaitans, go ahead.
The teachings of Baalim said it was all right to mix their belief in the scriptures and their loyalty to Messiah with their loyalty to the Roman Empire.
You see that? So the same thing that the Grecians were doing, we should all be one people. Romans, they try to be a little slick. We're like, look, you can still do your thing, but you know, just worship how we worship, but you can still call her Mary. You know, just do some weeping, you know, for this deity right here, Bacchus, but you can call him Yeshua, right? This is the way they try to merge church and state. They didn't want no separation. They wanted their whole empire to be intertwined with religion. That's why the name of their empire was the Holy Roman Empire, right? Keep going.
In order to unite his empire,
To unite the empire,
Constantine created amalgamation of church and state.
There you go.
The New World Order will unite around a merge of all religions under the Vatican, Rome. Today, we see that the religion of Constantine, through its Protestants daughters, Protestants daughters, has splintered into some 38,000 denominations and organizations worldwide.
All right, so there's all kind of churches and ministries going on with this new way, this watered down way to serve the Most High, so to speak. And this is what we are doing. We went on, curses saying Deuteronomy 28:64, that we shall be scattered amongst all nations, and there we should serve other powers that our fathers did not know. Powers of wood, meaning the Catholic Church, Christianity, and stone, right? Come on.
It says,
the majority, right?
The majority of these groups are now rejoining with the Roman Catholic Church to form a one world religion under the Vatican's control.
Right.
The word Nicolaitans means to conquer the lady.
To conquer the common man.
The Roman Catholic Church created a pagan hierarchy and a priesthood that separated priests from the laity, the common man, putting the cardinals, priests, bishops, and popes above all the people they will rule over. So
to make a hierarchy within the religious organization to where if it's a merge between state and church and state, now they can govern their whole province under a religious type of order, even though it's fake because we don't have no high priest right now. High priest is just shy, all right? And there's no mediator like the Pope or a priest between us and the Most High. We can pray to him in the name of Yeshua now. So that's just completely irrelevant and it's antichrist. Okay, is if you're setting up something like that, then you don't believe who Yeshua is and what he brought to the table, right? So that's something that you just understand. That's not even according to scripture, but they set it up and it's through false doctrine, through conquering us and having our text and withholding information, controlling the flow of information. They can make this thing profitable for themselves, and that's what they have done, right?
It says, fascinating that the seat or throne of Satan was a literal place on top of the high altar where animals and humans were sacrificed to Satan.
You see that? It says where animals and humans were sacrificed to Satan. And Satan has always required sacrifice, blood sacrifice, animals and humans. So this is how Antipas was killed, right? Let's scroll up, scroll down. Let's go look some more. All right, let's see. Let's read that and we'll stop right about there.
Okay. It says the anti-Messiah, Revelation 13:2, will rule with Satan's authority, power, and throne. Around 2003, I learned of an ex-intelligence officer, a former military man from the US who had gone to the Pergamos Museum many times to do this intercession over that altar of Zeus.
So he going over there to pray to Zeus, right? Come on.
The altar in the late 1800s.
In the late 1800s.
Have been moved piece by piece from Turkey to Berlin.
All right, stop there. So this is letting you know that this same altar, this same seat of Satan was discovered and moved to Berlin, right? You gotta understand and know this and carry this, man. This thing still exists today, right? Come on down here, the original altar.
The original altar had a place at the top of it to burn sacrifices. It was a literal altar where humans were sacrificed as an offering to the pleasure of Zeus.
Right, so this is where Antibucks was killed, and I'm pretty sure many other Christians, keep on.
In history, the Greek Zeus
And
his son Apollo, the Roman Jupiter, Persian Mithra,
right?
Babylonian Nimrod.
So what you're hearing right now is the different names of the same deity that's being worshipped. All right. You got to know this, man. And as you heard in there, it talked about the Babylonian Nimrod. Okay. Everybody in the world was worshiping Nimrod after the flood. And what did the Most High do? He split the tongues so that they couldn't continue to build the tower. And they took their respective worship of Nimrod back to these lands where they scattered and started their nations, and they calling them by different names from the different tongue they speaking. This is why it's saying every single name in all these different countries. They're all worshiping Nimrod. So Zeus, yes, that's another name for Nimrod. And his son Apollo is another name for Nimrod's son, who was Tammuz. You understand?
Says Egyptian Osiris and other
In Egypt, they call him where? Where is that?
Egyptian.
Okay, in Egypt, they call him Osiris. And in Egypt, Osiris has a son called Horus. Who you think that is? And guess what? In Christianity, right? Do you guys see the parallel? What's going on here? This is how Satan has gotten us to worship him through a demi power, half spiritual, half human. This is what Nimrod was. He was a Rephaim giant, all right? Through the found witchcraft that was on some stones after the flood, they did the same witchcraft, and he was able to become a Rephaim giant after the flood, y'all. And he was known as the sun god, man. Y'all that watch the channel, man, y'all use the pagan titles, but I'm just bringing this out raw so y'all won't be confused, all right? This is who the world is worshiping. When it says Zeus, that's Nimrod. When it says Osiris, that's Nimrod. When it says Jupiter, that's Nimrod. When it says Mithra, that's Nimrod. All these people are the same people, all right?
So the son of Zeus, Apollo, has been used as a substitute for, see that name that they use right there is pagan. I know y'all can read it, but his name is Shashad. Savior, sun god, sons of sun gods, Apollo, Apollyon. It's also
hold on. So it's telling you that they have used the son Apollo, who's the son of Zeus, as a substitute for Yeshua. This is what they were doing in the Holy Roman Empire. Like, look, you can still worship and call him Yeshua, but just do it how we do and celebrate Christmas, which is how they worship and celebrate in Greece. That's how they serve Apollo, right? And Easter, that's the mother of Apollo, the wife of Zeus,
which is Seramis,
right? This is what's going on, y'all. Let's see, where we at?
Says son of Apollo, Apollyon.
Okay, let's drop down from there. Okay. Let's go to, not just too far. Let's see. Okay, let's read that right there.
In Pergamum was the magnificent temple Aesculapius.
So that's the same person we talked about, the sorcerer of medicine, right?
A pagan god whose idol was in the form of a serpent.
Serpent around the pole. That's what you see in the medical field.
The inhabitants were known as the chief temple keepers of Asia.
So these people were known as the chief, like the priests of their temple, right? Come on.
Says when the Babylonian cult of the magicians was driven out of Babylon.
So these were the same ones that were under Nimrod, all right? When they were driven out of Babylon, what happened?
They found a haven in Pergamos.
They came there, right? So the rite never lost its original origin, and it didn't get watered down. The same people came to another place and start doing it, but these are Babylonians. And what happened was the Romans learned from them, right? They made that pact with them and learned and linked into worship Satan, bro. You understand?
Says Pergamos University town with a large library, 200,000 volumes, given as a gift from Anthony Cleopatra.
Okay.
Now it says the title of the magician high priest was chief bridge builder.
That's a familiar term when it comes to masonry. I want to let y'all know.
Meaning the one who spans the gap between mortals and Satan and his host.
Right.
In Latin, this title was written Pontifex Maximus,
right.
The title now used by the Pope.
So the Pope is known by this title. That's trying to bridge the gap between Satan, right, and people on earth. This is what he calls himself. Bringing it out. Keep going.
It says this title goes all the way back to Babylon in the beginning of the mother-child cult under Nimrod of Genesis 10.
So this is ancient. This is nothing new. This is not nothing brand new. This is ancient. Babylonian worship, the linking the people directly to Satan through their deity that they worship. Keep going.
And he, and his wife, Semiramis.
So the wife, she's worshipped more than Nimrod today, y'all. She's the one that everybody's worshiping, right? Come on.
Later, Julius Caesar was elected Pontifex Maximus, and when he became emperor, he became the supreme civil and religious ruler and head of Rome politically and religiously, with all the power and functions of the Babylonian pontiff. All
right, let's stop right there. Let's get a scripture. Let's get Genesis chapter 22 right quick. Because I want to show, all right, mind you, we showed you that Satan's seed is a real altar. It's a real temple with an altar in it where they would sacrifice animals and people, right? So let's break this down, man.
Book of Genesis, chapter 26, verse 2.
No, Genesis 20. Is it?
I'm sorry, 22. Verse 22.
You can start at 1.
Yes. We have, and it came to pass after these things that Ahiah did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, he said, behold, here I am. And he said, take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering.
Offer your son Isaac for a burnt offering
upon one of the mountains.
Upon one of the high places on the mountains, right?
Which I will tell thee of.
So this is all according to the way the Most High is to be worshipped. But he's just saying he's tempting Abram to do this. What verse is that?
This is about to be verse 3.
Okay, go ahead.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son and clave the wood for the burnt offering and rose up and went into the place of which Ahiah had told him.
Okay, so is the screen sharing, are we still on this?
Yes, we still on.
All right, so we'll just bring it out right here, right? Let's bring the screen in right quick so we can just show them on the camera. Okay. I'm going to show you in the on the blue letter right quick, right? Show you in the blue letter. Can y'all see this? All right. So what we're showing. You want to see it? Can you see it? So can you pull up the blue letter on here? Pull up Genesis 22. We're gonna pull up blue letter because it's some real weird stuff. Genesis 22. it's some real stuff that we've been taught that we not really been given the full understanding. But we're gonna get a little bit of revelation now. Now go ahead and go to tools on verse 3. Right. Right. And let's scroll down to keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. He rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son and clave the wood for the burnt offering. Click on that Hebrew Strong's page 5930. And what do we see? Go ahead and scroll down to the Strong's. And what does it say? Read the Strong's definition right there.
Okay. It says feminine active particle of H5927, a step or collective stairs or ascending.
So you got to go up to do this thing, the burnt offering, go up on a high place, right?
Usually a holocaust.
A holocaust, come on.
That's going up in smoke. That's saying burnt offering, sacrifice, go up to.
So a holocaust is what a burnt offering is, right? Now we got to understand, that term phraseology is learned as you go ahead and take that off screen. Is for when the so-called Jewish man went through a holocaust of being burnt up, right? In Germany, right? And even the place Auschwitz, right? If you look that up, I think in the Latin, that actually means holy place. Yeah, y'all. Auschwitz means holy place, right? And so holy place also, being a same reference as high place was a ritual, the way that these people, which it wasn't I don't believe it was no 6 million. Nah, it wasn't even 6 million people, I think, even in the country. All right.
Right.
And so
in addition to that, Slovakia, how can it be 6 million and the barcode numbers that they supposedly are labeled, the people were only in it at 6 figures. 7 figures equate to 1 million. Right. 6 is in the 100,000s plate. Right. So that right there is contradictory within itself. As people like to say, numbers don't lie. Right. So why don't we have any recollection of 7-figure individuals that was supposed to be labeled by the tattoo that was the so-called Jewish person who endured the Holocaust?
And so we get to understanding, this is a thing that was a ritual unto Satan. Now, we can go a little deeper, right? I want y'all also to understand something, right? This sacrifice, you might say, well, how can we deem it a sacrifice if the altar wasn't there? Well, as we read earlier, they moved the altar, okay, and set it up in 1903 in Berlin. They moved it piece by piece. It was an archaeologist that went down, I think, in 1871 and was investigating the city, ancient city of Pergamos. And God had the whole thing excavated, and the altar was there, y'all, to say the sequel was there, and they took it piece by piece. This is the original one, and moved it to Berlin, right? 1948, after the World War II, the Soviets took it and moved it to I think Stalingrad, right? Moved it, and that's when they had their communist regime and their power at their height, right? And then when it crumbled, I think within the same year before it crumbled, they took it and moved it back to Berlin. And then they crumbled, right? Now, what I want to bring out also is that Hitler, right? The same year that it was fully excavated, not moved, but it was fully excavated, was the same year that he was born, right? I think it's 1889. He was born. And then when he came into power in Germany, he asked one of his, I think is architect, I think his name is Albert something. And he asked him to build him a podium so he can do his speeches to the masses, right? And these are the ones you see in black and white when he's talking in German to everybody. This guy wanted to have some ideas. He wanted some type of a model to go after. Where do you think he got his model from? He went to the Pergamum Museum in Berlin and looked at this Satan seat temple that was there, and he made Hitler a replica of the same thing. And when you look at the pictures, it's the same thing. Only thing it's missing is the actual altar, and the podium that Hitler did his speeches on is actually in the same place where the original altar was. Not the original temple, but the replica of it has him standing in the same place. All right. So this thing was unto Satan. However you want to dice it up, he knew what he was giving his speeches on, and that whole thing was ritualistic according to the worship of Satan in Pergamos, right? Then you go a little bit more in history. In the year 2008, Obama, okay, to the so-called black man, the beloved Obama, man, this dude, you look at his inauguration speech in Denver, Colorado, he had the same replica built for his inauguration speech. Look it up, y'all. Look it up. This is a real thing, man. And dudes don't care about the Most High, y'all. Don't matter, you guys don't be simple. You got to know people by their fruits, not because they smile and they got a suit on, they know some big words. Come on, man. We can't be simple these days, man. We can't be caught up so much in what's going on with us that when one so-called melanated person do something positive and we hear him say God one time, oh, we think he a Christian, we think he holy, all of that, man. Everybody always mention the Most High in reference to their knowledge. They call him God, and we just give them a pass and think they holy, think they upright. These dudes worship the devil, dude. You need to guys know this stuff, man. All right. And so just giving you the understanding that this thing has been used as a stage and it's ritualistic because Obama, he has a goal to kill 350 million people. Where do you think he's gonna get the people from? Mind you, the population of the United States is around 360 million people right now. All right. And the stuff that he passed in legislation when he was in law, Obamacare, that stuff links all the way to the healthcare system and the stuff they're giving you right now. And the aid, the county aid you get, y'all gonna see what he set up. It's gonna link right into this medicine. Because if you don't take the medicine, all of a sudden you're not gonna be able to have access to your funds, your food stamps, your government aid, your crystal stairs, your Section 8, your everything. You're not gonna have access to nothing because you signed up for that Obamacare. And they put him in because they know he'll sucker everybody. They don't know nothing. They're so-called black. And shit, y'all don't even know what y'all got yourselves into, man. All right. But let's stay on topic, man. This is what's going on with who these people are. Now, let's go to let's go to two Babylons now, right? Let's go into the two Babylons, right? Alex, let's show them the book, show them the cover. I talk to y'all about this book all the time. Two Babylons, excellent book, breakdown all type of hypocrisy in reference to the Roman Catholic Church and what they've been teaching us as doctrine, teaching us another Christ. That's what they're doing, teaching us another Mashiach, right? So go ahead and read, go ahead, page 20. Go ahead and bring it out.
Okay. The first person of the Hindu triad, in Papal Italy, as travelers universally admit.
So this is Rome, starting again with Rome. Come on.
Except where the gospel has recently entered. All appearance of worshiping the King eternal and invisible is almost extinct, while the mother and the child are the grand objects of worship. So the mother and the child, this is the wife of Nimrod, who was Semiramis, and their child Tammuz. Tammuz is talked about in Ezekiel chapter 8, right? Because our women, our daughters of the daughters of Judah, used to be partaking in the ritual of weeping for Tammuz. All right,
Tammuz in the Bible, that is the son of Nimrod. Supposed to be the reincarnate of Nimrod. When Nimrod died, they say his spirit ascended up into the heavens, and that constellation up there called Orion, they saying that's Nimrod, the hunter, right? They saying that's him. Then they saying his spirit came down and impregnated Semiramis, and Semiramis had Tammuz. Sound familiar? Sound like the thing when Mary, she got impregnated by the Holy Spirit and had a child? Yes. The story, if you believe in the Immaculate Conception, then you believe in Tammuz, man. And you're worshiping Semiramis. This is scripture. And I know that's delicate for a whole lot of y'all. Oh, that's blasphemy, Holy Spirit. I was spooked too until I read the Bible, stopped listening to somebody tell me what it say. And it's very clear. Joseph is the father of Yeshua, right?
Mhm.
And that's a false doctrine that's been taught throughout the whole earth.
Right, Salaki. Back in the day when a man know a woman, that means that they're having fornications or sex and things of that nature. So it's mentioned in Matthew chapter 1, what's that verse 27, where it says that Joseph woken up from the Holy Spirit and had done the will. He had answered, he had knew his wife no more. So that's letting you know that he was having sexual relations with Mary at that time, and that's how Christ was born. None of that pagan stuff that you hear. Read the word, it says it right then and there. Even when Samuel was born, it spoke about that. So you have to know what no mean during those biblical times in reference.
Right. And so go ahead.
Says here, exactly so in this later respect also was it in ancient Babylon.
So we read that the same worshipers from Babylon came to Pergamos, right? And we're going into this because in Pergamos, this was the chief place of worship for Satan. They had a temple not only for Zeus, aka Satan's seat. That's what Satan's seat is, temple of Zeus. They had a temple for Artemis, okay, which is another name for Semiramis, right? And she and the worship of her and this child was the worship all throughout the earth, which is what we're just reading right now. Keep going.
The Babylonians in their popular religion supremely worship a goddess mother and a son.
So that's what in Christianity is known as Mary and Catholic. That's why they worship Mary. That's why they pray to Mary so much. That's why all the rites of Catholicism is to pray to Mary. It's because they're worshiping the Babylonian Semiramis. This is why that's the route that you deal with. This is why there's so many idols in the Catholic Church, because they're really following the idolatry of ancient Babylon, y'all. Letting y'all know, man. Keep going.
It says who was represented in pictures and in images as an infant or child in his mother's arm.
Right.
It's actually right here as well.
There it is.
It says, from Babylon, this worship of the mother and the child spread to the ends of the earth.
All over the world.
In Egypt, the mother and the child were worshipped under the names of Isis and Osiris.
So I told you earlier, Osiris is Nimrod, Isis is Semiramis, and their child is Horus. But they say Horus is the reincarnate of his father. Horus is his father. So they'll say, just like you say, Jesus is God. If you believe Jesus is God, okay, and I'm saying this for all y'all, you know, it's in the Christian church, they're not the same. So if you believe that, you're believing ancient Babylonian worship of Nimrod and Semiramis and Tammuz, because they're not equal. Let me get a precept on that. I'll bring it out for you. Let's get a precept on that right now. All right. Let's just get St. John chapter 14 and verse, let's see, what is it? Verse 28. Ye have heard now, I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If ye love me, this is Yeshua talking, if ye love me, ye will rejoice, because I say I go unto the Father. For my Father is greater than I. How in the world Father greater than him if they co-equal, if they the same? Does anybody care what the Bible says? All right, that's just one precept. There's plenty more, but this is out of your Messiah's mouth. He said the Father's greater than him. That's what he said. All right. So understand, if you're believing a co-equal power from that's supposed to be, and the Son is your Savior, you're believing in Tammuz and Nimrod. That's what you're believing in, because the Father and Son are not equal. Get one more for you, man. Get one more for you. Revelation. This is Yeshua speaking through the angel to John. And what does he say? Revelation chapter 3. Go ahead and bring that out. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 12. Bring that out right there.
It says, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power.
His who? His what?
My power.
Let's read it verbatim for me. In the temple of what?
My God.
Of his. So Christ got a God now. Go ahead.
And he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my God.
The name of his God. So Christ got a God. He's telling you, come on.
In the name of the city of my God.
And the city of his God.
Which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. So God got a God then. That's what you're saying. If you're saying Jesus is God, that means God has a God over you. This is Yeshua talking out of his mouth. He's saying, I have a God. He's my God. Okay. And anything we just read out of his mouth again, he said the Father is greater than me, man. All right. There's other precepts and the apostles, them speaking, but we're going right to the source. Yeshua is saying this, man. So it's either you believe the word or I don't know, you want to continue in that walk. That's not of the scripture, right? You're not speaking on or believing on the Mashiach of Israel. You're believing on another Yeshua. Okay, this is what the Paul was warning people. If somebody teach you another Yeshua who I have not preached, and you come upon another spirit that you have not received and receive another gospel that you ain't heard, man, you gonna bear with that dude. You gonna go ahead and get the judgment and deal with what you're doing with that brother, because that ain't. It's different than what I'm telling you. Okay, Paul tell you straight up, man. Paul's like, man, I'm down with Yeshua. I'll follow him. Right? Come on, let's get back in there. Okay. It says in India, even to this day, as Isi and Isawa, Iswawa, and in Asia as Civil and Dias.
Giving you the breakdown of the same deities all over the world.
And pagan Rome as Fortuna and Jupiter, or Jupiter.
Jupiter's Nimrod, go ahead.
Boy. And Greece as Ceres and the Great Mother with the babe at her breast. And as Irene, the goddess of peace, with the boy Plutus in her arms. And even in Tibet and China and Japan, the Jesuit missionaries were astonished to find
the Jesuit missionaries that were going around teaching false doctrine, Catholicism, what they say?
Were astonished to find the counterpart of Madonna and her child as devotedly worshipped as in Papal Rome itself. So they were trying to go bring some new Catholicism to China, and they was already worshiping a woman with a child already. Xing Mu, the Holy Mother in China, being represented with a child in her arms and a glory around her, exactly as if a Roman Catholic artist had been employed to set her up. All right, so they already had idols all over the place of this woman with a virgin birth child. Don't think that's just, bro, this is how it was. All right. Says here, okay, go ahead and read. Yeah, let me bring it out. The original of that mother, so widely worshipped, there is reason to believe was Semiramis. So this is the wife of Nimrod, from Babylon. Already referred to, who it is well known was worshipped by the Babylonians and other Eastern nations that under the name of Rhea, so that's one of the names she's known by. Same person, go ahead. The great goddess mother. And later on, it said in scripture, he is referred to Ezekiel 8, chapter 8, verse 14, under the name of Tammuz.
Tammuz,
but
that's
he
the
is
wife, that's
commonly-
the daughter of Semiramis. Go ahead.
But he is commonly known among classical writers under the name of Bacchus.
Bacchus,
That is the lamented one.
lamented one. They're weeping for Tammuz. This is the same ritual that we was made to do in the Grecian captivity. Let's get that form too. Let's get that too. All right. And Second Maccabees. Yeah, what you was reading earlier. Second Maccabees. All right. Okay. Right here. Go ahead and bring it out. Second Maccabees 6 and
Chapter
7.
verse 7.
Yeah.
Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 7.
Matter of fact, start at 6 so we can get context.
Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6.
Mhm.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days
Mhm.
or ancient feasts,
Mhm.
or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So this was the same thing going on after the first time I happened, the first Maccabees. We got the dominion through Judas, was able to beat back the Grecians and start the feast day called the Feast of Dedication. All right. And so they end up coming in and breaking down the temple, defiling the temple again, and trying to push us to follow their laws again. And so this is the same thing they started pushing up on us. That's why in the New Testament, Paul says there's either no Jew, no Greek. They don't say no Jew, no Gentile, no Jew, no Greek, because these Greeks are Israelites that couldn't call themselves Jews anymore. That's why salvation was offered to them, even though they're being called Greeks. And it's a title of citizenship, not bloodline. This is the understanding to show you that's why they were being called Greeks. Right? Keep going.
It says, and in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint.
It's the Israelites were brought by against their will.
Bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept,
this is the feast of Bacchus.
The youths were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying, what is that?
Ivory.
Oh, ivory. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifice.
Because they went out to Ptolemy because Ptolemy took a gang of Levites down to Egypt, right? So it's like, make sure them Jews down there are doing it too, right? Make sure they doing it down there too. But this is showing you that the worship of Tammuz was already being going on throughout the earth, and the Grecians were doing it. When they came down there, they made us keep this right, which goes back all the way to ancient Babylon, y'all. Bacchus is the name of Tammuz, man. Read verse 1. Read verse 1 and 2.
All right, it still says Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of Ahiah, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter.
The temple of Jupiter.
Olympius.
Jupiter is Nimrod. Come on.
And that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
They're strangers because they're strangers to Greece. So they say, this is who you're going to worship because he's going to defend y'all. This is who y'all need to worship.
As they did desire that dwelt in the place.
See that? So they was trying to get us to start worshiping Nimrod and his son Tammuz, Jupiter, Bacchus. That's who we read who they is. Right? Keep going on. And understand, when they set up the abomination of desolation in Greece, all right, and we got the dominion, they want to make sure they can continue to sacrifice. So in 29 BC, they went to Pergamos and they built this altar. That's when the altar got built, y'all. Satan's seat was built in Pergamos in 29 BC by the Grecians, all right? By the Grecians. And that's why it's called the altar of Zeus, because that is the deity of the Greeks. And the Romans, they call him Jupiter. You understand? So, let's go back in there. Where you at?
Finish that one.
Go ahead. You did finish that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
Let me see. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead, pass that up. And go to where? Numbers on this side, on this side.
Okay.
Right there.
It says,
Starting down here.
okay.
Right.
It says, Zernibugus, the great seed of the prophet Cush, was, of course, Nimrod.
So there, Cush was the father of Nimrod, and Cush was worshipped too as Mercury. All right. This is the deities that Paul and Barnabas were called when they performed the miracles. Okay, they called Paul Jupiter, and they called Barnabas Jupiter, and they called Paul Mercury, calling them Cush and Nimrod. Come on.
And it says, for Cush was Nimrod's father. And the woodcut referred to, first we find the Assyrian Hercules. That is Nimrod the giant.
Okay, so understand, in Assyria, Hercules, that is another way, according to the dialects of the land, of saying Hermes. Same thing, right? Hermes and Hercules is the same thing. Keep going.
That is Nimrod the giant, as he is called in the Septuagint version of Genesis.
Right, so he's called Hercules in the Septuagint in Genesis. Come on.
Without clubs, spear, or weapons of any kind.
No weapons. What did he do?
Attacking the bull.
He's fighting the bull. And he beat the bull, and he secured the bull and saved the people from the attacks of getting bored with the bull. And what did he do? He ended up taking the head of the bull and putting his horns on his head. So then he started getting worship and representation of a bull, because he put the bull on his head, right? As in golden calves, the 2 golden calves. Yeah, y'all. I brought this out to y'all, man. You know, there's the videos out on who is Yahweh, Yahuwah, showing you the origin of who you're calling on. If you're calling on any of those tetragrammaton names, you're calling on Nimrod, man. That's who you're calling on. All right. Keep going. Did you get it? Let me see. Get this in the Bluetooth. Get this in the Bluetooth. So Nimrod is known as a bull, okay, because he killed the bulls. That's why he was worshipped as a bull. They made an idol to worship him. So they worship him through the idol because he's dead now. You understand? So he was deified through the bull. Go ahead.
Having overcome it, he sets the bull's horn on his head.
So he killed the bull and put the bull's horns on his head.
As a trophy of victory and a symbol of power. And thenceforth the hero is represented, not only with the horns and hooves above, but from the middle downwards with the legs and cloven feet of the bull. So
the first deities of Nimrod, from the waist up, it would be his like body with his head, and from the waist down, it'd be the whole bull body. Okay, you see a lot of this. I see this in little Garbage Pail Kids when I was little. Y'all, I remember that they'd have these weird looking characters on there, and I remember specifically one that had a human body from the waist up, from the waist down, they had an animal body. So that is one of the idols that represents Nimrod worship, because he used to kill the bulls, have him a bull body on the bottom and have a regular human body on the top. Keep going.
Says, that's where it
okay. No, go skip all. Let me see what that is. Nope, skip all that. Let's go to the next one. 3, so start there.
All right. So this was the way in which Osiris, the son, the husband of his mother, was often exhibited, and what we learn of this power.
So he says something, speak that, said Osiris, the son, husband of his mother, because Nimrod, Semiramis was his mother, but he married her, right? This is the reincarnate of Tammuz. Like Tammuz, Semiramis was his mother, but he married her, right? And so That's why when you look at the breakdown of who Nimrod and Semiramis starts with each other, they say he's the daddy and he's the son. Jesus is the son and he's God, because that was some wicked stuff going on right there, man. This is why you gotta look at this stuff, man. And it's talked about in the Bible, just on a mention, very barely mention it. But when you study it, you look at the book of Jasher, look at the book of Jubilees, you'll get more understanding of what's going on with that there. All right, go ahead.
Says, was often exhibiting what we learned this power, equally as in the case of Consul, shows that in his original, he was none other than Nimrod. It is admitted that the secret system of
Freemasonry is involved in the worship of Nimrod. Go ahead.
Was originally founded on the mysteries of the Egyptian Isis.
So Isis is the female deity of Babylon, who is Semiramis, the wife of Nimrod. Come on.
The goddess mother or wife of Osiris. But what could have led to the union of a Masonic body with these mysteries? Had they not had particular reference to architecture and had the power who was worshipped in them not been celebrated for his success in perfecting the arts of fortification and building?
So Semiramis was known as the goddesses of fortification and building because, mind you, Nimrod got everybody to come live in this city and build a tower. And he got famous for killing animals that were killing people and saving the people from these animals killing, namely the bulls and the lions and stuff like that. So when he died, Semiramis, she built walls around it because his Nimrod's not here anymore, built walls around it and became the goddesses of fortifications. This is the origin of the understanding of the crown that's on her head, because it has like little towers on it, right? So the towers was a replica of the walls and the towers around Babylon, right? Now, they made statues under her. You read the Jewish Jesuits went around seeing it in China, and they got a statue right now of her in Babylon in New York right now. Okay, we call it the Statue of Liberty. You understand? We call it the Statue of Liberty, but that's the statue of Semiramis, y'all. / Isis, / Cybele, / Diana, / Ishtar, / Easter, y'all. Now understand, we going through all this so you can see who's being worshipped and how at Satan's seat, and what to look for and what to see in the last days, because this is a twofold prophecy. You're going to see this stuff, y'all. If it be the will of the Most High, you're going to see this stuff. Keep going.
We're going to go down. Plutarch.
Where you at?
Down here.
You know what? No, we done with that. Go ahead and go to the next one.
All right. The scheme that's skillfully formed took effect. Semiramis gained glory from her dead and deified husband. And in course of time, both of them, under names of Rhea and Nin, or goddess, mother, and son, were worshipped with an enthusiasm that was incredible, and their images were everywhere set up and adored. So
this is how everybody started worshiping a woman and a child idol, right? As I showed you in the cover, that they got so-called statues of liberty all over the earth, y'all. They got them all over the earth because it's not no statue that was representing that we got our freedom. 1776?
Yeah.
That does not have nothing to do with that. This is a covert way to have an idol, a huge idol in the bay of supposed to be the country of the leader of the whole free world. That's so crazy, y'all. And we thinking, oh, we go look on it. People done visited, went all up in it, all of that. The Washington Monument. That is a Nimrod stick. That is an obelisk, and there's more than one Washington Monument because they got those all over the earth. They got those in Rome. They got them in Egypt and Atlanta Ham. They got them in the UK. They got them all over the earth because it's not a Washington Monument. That is a obelisk that's been around for thousands of years from worshiping Nimrod. That's what they used to worship Nimrod. They used the bull to worship him, and they used the obelisk to worship him. All right, I understand this. So now, is that 5 in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's get the Masonic book. Let's bring it on. Right. Let's bring it all the way home so you can know the people who are dealing with this seed of Satan today. Right. Go ahead and start right there.
All right. It says, though.
Let's show them the title. This is Morals and Dogma. Right. Little breakdown by our pipe. Little breakdown on masonry, just to show y'all what to look for, who to look for today. Right.
When I reply part of one of the
He's the beginning dude of Freemasons. Right? The beginning dude, he got a statue. He got a statue, I think, in Virginia. He's not a president or nothing. He got a statue. Like, how you get a statue?
One that came in a religion as well, right?
Yeah, he made it like this is something to do. This is the business.
Right. Says, though masonry neither usurps the place of nor apes religion, prayer is an essential part of our ceremony.
So understand, in masonry, they're not trying to make you stop if you're in a religion already. They want to bring them together. I'm telling you this for a reason. All right, keep going.
Certain faculties of man are
No,
direct.
stay there. Go read all this too.
Okay. It is the aspiration of the soul toward the absolute and infinite intelligence, which is the one supreme deity, most feebly and misunderstandingly characterized as an architect.
So they're trying to capitalize on your soul's desire to want to connect with the Most High. They don't want to cut that off. So they want people, these are Masons, they want people who believe in something. And that something always has to include the Most High. It has to, right? Because who they worship was made by the Most High. So when you come into who you're dealing with them, you have to believe in the one who made him. It's simple as that. If you don't believe in who made him, then they can't rock with you. Because you can never believe in the one that they serve. And that's real, y'all. We're going to show you what they ain't doing is tie into the Satan seed, to Nimrod, Ramses, Tammuz, and all the names, all these people, and what's going to happen in the last days. Come on.
Certain faculties of man are directed towards the unknown. Thought, meditation, prayer.
So stuff you don't know, you can think about, you meditate, you can pray, ask the Most High, tell me what's up, right? Come on.
The unknown is an ocean of which conscious is the compass.
So the conscious is telling you, and the unknown making you reason within yourself. That's the compass of what do you do? How am I find this out? Right? Come on.
It says thought, meditation, prayer are the great mysterious pointings of the needle. It is a spiritual magnetism that thus connects the human soul with the deity.
Right. So the way you're going to connect with a deity, right? Whether it be the Most High Power or higher, or Satan and the angels and the demons, it's always going to be a spiritual thing through your soul and through meditation and prayer, right? Go to 2.
Every lodge is a temple.
So every lodge is a place of worship. Mind you, we read Solomon built a place not for the Most High to live there, but to sacrifice unto him. So every lodge is a place where they worship Satan. All right, drinking ghost blood and all kind of retarded stuff. I understand this stuff, y'all. Every single one, and there's one in every city, bro. There's one down from LA. I done seen them. They're in every city, El Segundo, Manhattan Beach, LA, in the hood in LA. Then you got in West LA, Long Beach, like I'd say. There's one everywhere. I seen one in the hood, bro, on the east side, bro, right in the middle of cutthroat drug sales and murder. Right, I think it was on like Avalon and like 69th. It said the greatest, the best worship lodge, the best worship Masonic lodge. That's what it said. I said, am I tripping? Because this thing, just like it's scattered all over the world, it's scattered all over the nations too. And they got these hubs for a reason. They're doing these rituals for a reason in certain locations for a reason. It's having a spiritual effect on those certain neighborhoods, y'all. just try to break it down for y'all, man. These wickedness, these crimes, these murders, these killings, these robberies that are happening, they're being orchestrated by the rituals done in these Masonic lodges, man, of the worship of these ancient Babylonian deities, y'all. Letting y'all know, man. Come on.
Says, as a whole, in its detail, is symbolic. The universe itself supplied a man with the model for the first temples reared to the divinity.
So they're trying to call the Most High universe. The Most High gave the understanding to there's a brother from Judah and a brother from Dan. All right, and that whole understanding with Dan, that's a whole lesson in itself. But the word prophesied that Dan will become an adder in the way, and that he will cause his brethren to fall back. Right. And so the way they built it, mind you, it included all the creation of the Most High, as we're about to read, but it wasn't put in there as for us to worship it. We knew better. We knew in the law we're not supposed to do that. But all those things were put in the temple. Go ahead. And the original temple that Solomon built to the Most High.
It said the arrangements of the Temple of Solomon, the symbolic ornaments which form its chief decorations, and the dress of the high priest, all had reference to the order of the universe.
So it had things like the stars, the moon, the sun, and it was a decoration. Okay, there were symbols, but there was no meaning behind it to us, because we don't deal with horoscopes, we don't deal with none of that stuff. But these things were incorporated in the building of the temple. Come on.
As then understood. The temple contained many emblems of the seasons, the sun, the moon, the planets, the constellations, Ursa Major and Minor, the zodiac, the elements, and the other parts of the world.
Right.
It is the master of this lodge of the universe, Hermes, of whom.
Hermes, you hear that? So the master of that Masonic lodge is Hermes. We just read that in Assyria, that Hermes is known, Nimrod is known as Hercules, which is another way you say Hermes. So showing you in the Masonic lodges, they're worshiping Nimrod. He said, just read that part again.
Says, it is the master of this lodge of the universe, Hermes.
So that's who they worship, and they call that one the master of the universe.
Of whom Qurum is the representative, that is one of the lights of the lodge.
So the lodge, they got lights, right? They got things that they feel illuminate them. So one of the lights or one of the things within their overall worship is worshiping Nimrod under the title Hermes. You don't know who it is because they done changed this all kind of names. That's what they saying they worship. We just broke down in two Babylons. Hermes is not a name for Nimrod. They worship Nimrod, y'all. Go ahead.
It says, the Holy Bible, square, and compasses are not only styled the great lights in masonry.
So they also are lights to you because you already have your faith, your belief in something spiritual. So they wanna harbor it, and they want to integrate their ideology into your already, what you already got going on spiritual wise and what you believe in, right? Come on.
But they are also technically called the furniture of the lodge.
So the furniture of the lodge, meaning this is the substance of what whoever believes what, we're going to have what you believe already there, right? Come on.
And as you have seen, it is held that there is no lodge without them.
Right. So all the lodges, like I tell you, you have to believe in something. So they're going to have a book of whatever you believe in every single lodge because you got to believe in the Most High. Come on.
This has sometimes been made a pretext for excluding Jews from our lodges because they cannot regard the New Testament as a holy book.
So they can't regard the whole Bible. So they say, well, we're going to have the whole Bible. We're not going to cut it in half. So no Jews, no Jewish people, y'all don't get to come in here. Come on.
The Bible is an indispensable part of the furniture of a Christian lodge.
So they got Bibles in the Christian lodges. So if you believe in the Bible, they got a lodge just for you. They got a place of worship to Satan just for you if you're a Christian. Yes, come on.
The Hebrew Pentateuch Pentateuch, and a Hebrew lodge.
So they got a Hebrew lodge for the people who believe in the Pentateuch. The Pentateuch, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And the Quran and a Mohammedan one.
So you got Islamic Masonic lodge, and they got a Quran in there.
Belong on the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these in the square and compass, properly understood, are the great lights by which a Mason must walk and work.
So the lights is the rights and who they serve. Understand, y'all, what we just read is that if the Masons don't want to change you, all right, if you believe in the Most High, that's actually cool to them. Like, yeah, come on in here, and we want to put our influence within the doctrine, right? We want to learn we know we don't master what you believe in, and they're going to teach you how to worship, in this case, Hermes, under the name Jesus. This is what they're doing. That's why they got you celebrating Christmas, right? Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, the 4th of July, man. These things go back to ancient Babylon, y'all. Come on.
The obligation of the candidate is always to be taken on the sacred book or books of his religion, that he may deem it more solemn and binding.
So they want to take you in what you believe. They don't want you to stop believing. Oh, we want that dude because he believes. We can use him to control other people that believe in that book, get him to turn him straight, right? Understand, y'all, it's very, very, very well possible and prevalent that your pastor, he's a Mason. He's telling you the truth, all right? I know for sure that Bishop Blake, okay, West Angeles, LA, I know for sure he's a Mason. I know for sure Bishop Frederick K. Price, he's a Mason for sure. I know Bishop McClendon, that dude is a Mason for sure. I know this for sure, y'all. Okay, mind you, it's telling you these dudes worship Nimrod, man. Nimrod is a representative of Satan. He's one level lower, all right? He's one level lower than the worship of Satan. I'm letting you know this, all right? So if someone's a Mason, that's not just something that's cool, they're part of, all right? They're part of the deceit. They're part of the seller. They're part of those Israelites that wanted to have a part in place within the Grecian captivity when they said they was coming to go make them change their ways and their laws. Telling y'all the truth, man. I don't care how big the congregation, I don't care about how many cars they got. The blessings are not carnal of the Most High, man. They're spiritual. What the word say, man, to lay up your riches in heaven where no moth, no canker, or no caterpillar can take, huh? Or it ain't gonna rust, huh? You're busy looking to define blessed by the Most High in a carnal way, man. What? Quit looking to be blessed in a carnal way, man. Paul said, man, covet spiritual gifts. That's to get you, not the carnal gifts, covet the spiritual gifts. The best ones. That's what you're supposed to want. A spiritual gift, not a carnal gift. Come on.
And therefore it was that you were asked of what religion you were.
They want to know what religion you're from. This is telling you, y'all, if you're dealing with a religious organization that is stupid big, bro, believe me, bro, you're not going to make bread and get big up in Satan's kingdom. Most I say they get an herb into the hand of the wicked. You're not running nothing in this kingdom unless you down with them and what they say. And this is showing you. We're reading a Masonic book. They said they asked the people what religion they're from so they can control you in religion. This is why we in the truth, we want to go at our brethren in the Christian church with so much zeal because we know that y'all following a false doctrine, and we know that it is the wine of that doctrine is very strong. It's hard to get someone to care about what they believe in the Christian church, even when we read it to you out the Bible. It's hard because there's spirits behind that, man. These pastors are doing hypnosis on you. I know somebody watching this right now. The pastor ever told you, man, everybody close your eyes and put your hands up? Come on now. Close your eyes and put your hands up. Don't nobody open their eyes. So yeah, you don't know what she's doing. Because it's a lot of women out here doing this. You don't know what he's doing. Okay, they're making certain sounds with the instruments. Before they start talking, they're hypnotizing you. This stuff is real, y'all. Okay, Paul said that the spirit of Antichrist already doth work. Okay, this ain't no last end of the days, last days thing that's gonna happen. This thing been going on since Yeshua was on earth. Since why would he pass the Antichrist spirit was working right away to get people from now. That's why it was killing people in Pergamos. That's an Antichrist spirit. We don't want you to believe in him. Nah, you like him, nah, kill this dude. These things, man, are happening and have never stopped, y'all. And the people that are holding this stuff down today are the people that you hold so much reverence because they drive a nice car, because they put on $1,000 suits, they stand in the pulpit, they got air conditioning in the church, they got nice cushion seats. They got a lot of people in the church. Man, the word said the path of righteousness is narrow, man. That's what the word saying. If you want to break down how you're gonna identify and what you're gonna watch and pray for, you're not gonna see a whole lot of people doing what's right. Yeshua said, "You shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake." To Christians, there ain't nobody hate y'all. Not the biggest religion in the whole world. Nobody hates you. Who hates y'all? This is what Yeshua said out of his mouth, man. You're gonna be hated. Who hating y'all? What Paul say, man? Paul said, man, I'll become your enemy because I tell you the truth. We the ones that's hated. The Israelites, man. We want to stand up for the truth, teaching you right out the book, as the scriptures say. We the ones that are hated because we tell you the truth. We got enemies. Tell you the truth. Come on.
We have no other concern with your religious creed.
They don't care about nothing else that nobody doing. They just want to make sure you believe in a religion so they can use you. Come on.
Read this to her.
No, good. Not 5. Was that 4?
This
Okay.
It says the 3 lesser or the sublime lights.
So there's other, they said the Hermes was one of the lights of the lights. So they got other lights too. Come on.
Or the sublime lights you have heard are the sun, the moon, and the master of the lodge.
So these are the deities that we were told not to worship. The Most High set all the other nations so they to worship. We not supposed to be rocking with that stuff. Go ahead and bring that out. Bring that out right quick. That's Deuteronomy 4 right here, and 19.
Deuteronomy
4.
chapter 4, verse 19. And unless thou lift up thine eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun
and the moon,
and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Most High thy power hath divided into all nations under the whole heaven.
So the Most High divided all those celestial powers to be worshipped by the other nations. See that? We're not supposed to worship that. But he did make them. But he said, don't look up to heaven to worship him, because that's not who you, I'm your portion. Right? Come on.
Says, and you have heard what our brethren of the New York Rite say in regard to them, and why they hold them to be lights of the lodge.
And so these are lights of the lodge to them. But this is what they're not of Israel. So this is what they're supposed to be doing. Right? This is why you got to set yourself apart, be separate, because the Most High separated us to be holy unto him. You can't gather in this thing with people that's not Israel, because they're going to have you going astray, doing what the Most High gave them to do, is worship the host of heaven. This is why we separate, because the scriptures say. Come on now.
And why they hold them to be lights of the lodge. But the sun and moon do in no sense light the lodge.
So they're not physically giving no light on the lodge, read.
Unless it be symbolically, and then the lights are not they, but those things of which they are the symbols.
So it's used for symbolism, right? This is why you got the all-seeing eye with the rays of the sun around it, you know, or y'all have a sun up on pictures when Santa Claus, they always got a sun up there. Right, because it's worshiping sun. They're much known as the sun god, right? So the symbolism telling you who they worship. Ain't no symbolism with the Most High, man. None. Matter of fact, bring that out too. Glory to the Most High. Right there. Same chapter, Deuteronomy 4 and verse 12.
Deuteronomy 4, verse 12 says, And the Most High spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words.
So he spake unto us out of Mount Sinai, out of the mountain of fire, and what?
But saw no similitude. One.
So you heard a voice, and you didn't see no shape or no fashion or nothing. Go ahead.
Only ye heard a voice.
All you heard was a voice. You didn't hear about what I look like. You didn't see what I look like. All you heard was a voice, man. Come on.
Says, and he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them into 2 tablets of stones.
Right. So he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments on 2 tablets of stones. Right. Now, jump down to 15.
Says, take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves.
Pay attention.
For ye saw no manner of similitude on this day, that Ahijah spake unto you in Horeb.
That's Yeshai.
Out of the.
That's Yeshai's angel.
Okay, Slakia. Yeshai spake unto you in Horeb, out of the midst of the fire.
He said, make sure you put it in a note in your mind. You didn't see no similitude, no fashion or nothing. All you heard was a voice. Read 16.
Lest ye corrupt yourselves.
So you're going to contaminate yourselves by what?
And make you a graven image.
And make a graven image.
The similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
This is why we don't deal with no idolatry whatsoever at all. Because that is going to defile ourselves and corrupt ourselves. Because the power we worship, we never see no similitude of them. So he said, don't you ever build nothing. Don't you ever put it in your mind to do that, man. All the powers of the nations are idols. That's Psalm 96:5. Okay. That's what they do. We don't build nothing, stone, nothing unto the Most High, his son, or nothing. We don't build none of that. All right. That's not for us. Right. Keep on going. Go back over there.
Okay. And says, of what they are the symbols, the mason and that right is not told.
Right. So the mason that's coming in, apprentice level, he don't even know what these lights, these symbols that he's seeing all in their lodge, they places of worship, they temples. He don't even know what that stuff is. They keep this stuff secreted to you. They don't want you to know what you're doing at first. They wait till you get in deep. All right. Come on, let's go to 5. Last one.
It says the moon was the symbol of the passive capacity of nature to produce.
Listen to this. The moon, this deity is going to go into the deity. Listen to this deity. All right.
The female,
a female,
of which the life-giving power and energy was the male. It was the symbol of Isis.
Of Isis.
Astarte.
Who's that?
Astarte.
Astarte.
And Artemis.
Artemis was a temple built in Pergamos, right next to the tower, the altar of Zeus. And in some accounts, it says that mind you, the 2 golden calves, Baal and Ashtoreth, are Nimrod and Semiramis. All right. If, like I said, you go watch the video, the Tetragrammaton video, who is Yahweh, Yahuwah, you will see, I don't want to go even deeper into 2 Babylons, that Semiramis was also put horns on her head as the husband, as the wife of Nimrod, and she was worshipped as a calf. This is why the Northern Kingdom built 2 golden calves. One in Dan, one in Bethel. The one in Bethel is one of the names of Bethel is his house of El. Okay, El was a name, another name for Baal. And as we read, did we read that other precept? Oh, we got to bring that. Let's read that, and we'll bring out another precept to show you that the names of those golden calves, the female one was Ashtoreth or Astarte, or Artemis, which he just read, or Diana, which we can get into that too. And then the male one was named Baal by the Canaanites, El and Yahweh. For sure, man. It's not mine. This is what it say, right? Finish that out.
And manifested through both. Zeus, the son of Saturn, become king.
Zeus, the son of Saturn. So Zeus is Nimrod, son of Saturn. Saturn is another name for Satan. All right. Understand this. And that's where they get the name for Saturday. Okay, that's our Sabbath. But Satan want to be worshiped on the same day as the Most High. That's how they named Most High. They named them no days but the Sabbath. He called the seventh day the Sabbath. But man, they call it Saturday after Satan. Understand this, y'all. Understand this. So this Zeus is under Saturn. Nimrod's under Saturn. The sun god, read.
The son of Saturn become king of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Horus, son of Osiris and Isis,
Mm-hmm.
become the master of light. Dionysus or Bacchus,
Mm-hmm.
like,
I guess we went into that.
like Mithras,
Mm-hmm.
Nimrod, become the author of light and life and truth.
So you got all these lights that are being brought out now that are saying that they represent Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, the collection of worshiping them under Satan as the king of all the gods. They are the ones that are going to provide your light, your life, and your truth. You see that? That's not according to scripture, right? Let's get that precept in the word. Because you're shy. Says something about the life and light, right? And the truth, right? St. John. Let's get St. John. Where's that? Let me see that. Where's that on? St. John chapter 14 and verse 6.
St. John chapter 14.
So we went through all that to show you that the people who are in charge of this ancient Babylonian worship today has been taken on by the Masonic order. All right. This is who they're worshiping. And so these are the ones that are in charge of this seat of Satan today, because it's still in existence. It's in Berlin, right? Go ahead and read Matthew 14 and 6. St. John.
St. John,
Yeah.
chapter 14, verse 6. Hamashiach Yeshai said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me.
So you see how they taken the roles and the characteristics of Yeshai and put them on these other deities? Telling you real clear, he's the truth, he's the life. You go to St. John 1 and 4.
Says,
So they said he said he was the life and the light and the truth. These worship what they do, Trinity. Now, what's what the word say?
It says, John chapter 1, verse 4. In him was life.
And him was life, Yeshai was life.
And the life was the light of men.
So he's the life, he's the light and the truth. But they saying, nah, that's these other three deities from, you understand? So let's go back into that Pergamos. We're gonna bring out one more thing.
Okay.
Put that up on the screen. We're gonna pull out one more thing. And we're gonna bring this thing home. Look that, and let's go back up, go up. All right, come down. Come down some until we start talking. Okay, go again to the next page. All right, right there now. Read right there after, read right here, the altar.
The altar in the late 1800s had been moved piece by piece from Turkey to Berlin.
Right, so from at the time of the 1800s, Pergamos was called Turkey and it got moved to Berlin, right?
It can be moved again.
It can be moved again, right? Come on.
He told me that he had heard while there at the museum that
Now he's talking about this guy, this former intelligence guy, military man from the United States, told him what?
That he told me that he had heard while there at the museum that the plan was to take it apart again.
They were going to take it down again and what?
And reconstruct it on the Temple Mount.
And reconstruct it on the Temple Mount, y'all. You hear that? All right, let's come out of that. So Now we know what the abomination of desolation is. That is an actual temple, right? And we see that little hint right there that they're going to take this thing down and put it on Temple Mount. We got to look in scripture. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. See if we can put some stuff together.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?"
Oh, Lucifer. This is who the Masons worship. They're Luciferians, right? Light bringer. Come on.
Son of the morning.
He was a morning star, singer to the Most High, in charge of the music. Go ahead.
How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
Weaken the nations, man, because everybody's serving him and not the Most High. Come on.
For thou hast said in thy heart,
What did he say?
I will ascend into heaven.
He's going to ascend up into heaven.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of a higher.
He said he's going to exalt his throne above the stars of a higher. Come on.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
He said he's going to sit on the mount of, he got a seat, right? He's going to sit on the mount of the congregation.
In the sides of the north.
Where?
In the sides of the north.
In the sides of the north. Come on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
He's going to ascend above the height of the clouds. That's the heavens.
I will be like the Most High.
He said he's going to be like the Most High. That's 14. What he want to do? He want to be like the Most High. Let's get Psalms. Matter of fact, let's get Ezekiel 28. Let's go there first. I can understand Satan going to do this stuff through his people, right? The people of the prince. He's going to use them to do this. Come on, give me Ezekiel 38 and what? 12.
Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 12. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus.
Now, this is not talking about the physical king of Tyrus. This is talking about the deity that's over the kingdom of Tyrus, who the king is subject to. Just like we read, every deity, every country is given to worship the host of heaven. Okay, the host of heaven includes the angels, right? Come on.
And say unto him.
And the angel that is over all of these angels is Satan. He's over all the angels that all the nations worship. This is why Yeshua was wrestling with the prince or the angel of Persia, and then he had to fight with the one from Greece. And Michael had to come help him, because there's an angel over every nation. Come on.
Thus said the Most High, higher, thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. So
before he was full of wisdom and beauty. He's one of the top angels created. Come on.
Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Ahia.
He was in the garden of Eden.
Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. So he was decked out. Most High had him decked out, right? Come on. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. So he was into the music, okay? The tabret, tambourine, the pipes, the organ. He was in charge of the music to worship Ahia. And this is what he was created for. Come on. Thou art the anointed cherub that covered. He's a highly anointed cherub angel, all right? And this is what we were talking about earlier, the music, because he was in charge of music in heaven, is how we see people on earth do music. Come on. And I have said thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of Ahia. He was even on the holy mountain of the Most High. Come on. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. The stones of fire are the coals. All right. Let's hold that. Okay. Let me get Isaiah 6. I'll bring that out right quick. This is Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 6. Then flew one of the seraphim, which is the type of angel, unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. Because there is a heavenly tabernacle and altar as well. All right. So
He said, when you walked up in the midst of the stones of fire, these are the coals. This is in the heavenly tabernacle before the Most High. He used to be right there with the Most High. That's what he's saying. Read.
Thou was perfect in thy ways.
That was perfect.
From the day that thou was created, till iniquity was found.
Till sin was found in. Come on.
By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence.
So the multitude of his merchandise, this is the craft. This is what he had taught people how to worship him. Now the earth is filled with violence. This is what he want to do. And this is being attributed to him. Come on.
And thou hast sinned.
And that was a sin.
Therefore,
for all those that say angels can't sin, this Satan's an angel and he sinned. Come on.
Therefore, I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of Ahia.
Cast you out of the mountain,
And I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire.
So you're going to destroy you from amongst the stones of fire, right? So now let's go to Psalms 48, and we'll get the understanding of what the size of the north is. So you're seeing right here, right? That the devil, man, he was an angel at first, he was straight, but he started cutting up, got jealous. Most High cut him down, and he's been wreaking havoc on the earth ever since, right? Psalms 48, 1 and 2.
Psalms 48, verse 1. Great is the Most High, and greatly to be praised in the city of our power, in the mount of his holiness.
In the mount of his holiness.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth.
It's a beautiful situation for where it's at, on a mount, up high.
Is Mount Zion.
The joy of whole earth, Mount Zion.
On the sides of the north.
On the what?
On the sides of the north.
Mount Zion is on the sides of the north. This is where Lucifer said he's going to sit on the sides of the north. So when we read in the article, it said that they're going to, the altar of Zeus can be moved again. They're going to put it on the Temple Mount. Satan is saying he's going to sit on the sides of the north. That Psalm 48 is saying is what?
It's saying that it is the sides of the north.
Which is Mount Zion.
Mount Zion.
So this is what Satan's talking about. He's gonna put his throne, right? He's gonna let his throne ascend up, right? Mind you, to ascend up, that means to be in a holy place, a place of sacrifice and worship. What is the abomination of the desolation? The abomination of the desolate people is the swine, right? And so let's go ahead and go to
I gotta finish. On the sides of the north, the city of the great king.
City of the great king, man. City of Yeshai, man. So this is where they're planning. Understand? This is what's being planned out, right? Let's go to Ephesians right quick. Let's go to Acts chapter 19 right quick. I went to that a little earlier too, slucky, y'all. I gotta bring this out too. Because Paul was over in this area teaching with no fear, not holding his tongue, right? This is, go to Acts 19 and go to verse 26.
26. In the book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 26.
Come on, bitch.
In the book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 26. Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone of Ephesus,
which is the region where Pergamos is,
but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul hath persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods, which are made with hands. So all the powers I told you earlier in Psalms 96 and 5, all the powers of the nation are idols, deities made with hands. Read. Says, so that not only this art craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana,
so this is Semiramis, come on,
should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia in the world worship. Everybody in the whole world worshiping Semiramis, y'all. All right. And these people who used to make idols to make money, to sell to people, to take them in their house, they get mad because Paul coming there bringing this truth. Like, man, this dude come here saying that our great deity is nothing. Like, man, we don't like this dude, right? Go ahead. And when they heard these saying, they were full of wrath. They got mad and cried out, saying, Great is Diana of Ephesians.
So they start rioting. Great is Diana of the Ephesians, man. It's the same reason where Pergamos was, man. Paul right there, like whatever, right? Let's read a little bit what Paul did, right? Go drop down to verse 30.
30. And when Paul,
No matter of fact, read 29.
okay,
Read
okay. And the whole city was filled with confusion.
The whole city went berserk, right?
And having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, Paul's companion in trouble, they rushed with one accord into the theater.
So they went into the theater, the whole city, they in there deep, wilding out, right?
And when Paul would have entered into the people,
Paul was gonna go up in there like, whatever, man, I'm down, I'm going in there too. What?
The disciples suffered him not.
I said, nah, bro, we're not gonna let you go in there, bro. They finna kill you, man. You're like, nah, I'm ready to ride, right? Paul was down for this truth, right?
And certain of the chiefs of Asia, which were his friends, sent unto him, desire him that he would not adventure himself into the theater.
Okay, so drop down to verse 34.
But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours.
No, 1 hour.
Huh?
1 hour?
No, it says 2.
For 2 straight hours, y'all, they just start being rebellious. Like, man, what they say?
Great is Diana of the Ephesians.
They crying out, man, we want to worship this idol. I don't care what this dude talking about. For 2 hours straight. Next verse.
And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, ye men of the Ephesians, what man is there ye knoweth not how that the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana.
This is who we worship over here. How y'all don't know this? What's this issue? What's this even problem going on? Everybody know we worship this deity over here, and what?
And of the image which fell down from Jupiter.
That's Nimrod. So this is showing, this is stuff that was going on that even Paul was battling against, man, when he was teaching, right? Let's go to Mark 13:7. Right? We almost done, y'all. We almost done. Mark 13 and verse 7.
In the book of Mark 13, verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet.
So y'all hear about all this. They rioting and warring. They in Australia in the streets. They in France in the streets. They all in Africa in the streets. They in Haiti in the streets. They in Venezuela in the streets. They in China in the streets. They in Iran in the streets. They in everywhere.
Cuba.
Right? Everywhere. Right? And war is on the horizon on so many fronts right now. I can't even count them all. Everywhere. Right? The end is not here. The end is not here. This is what we're looking for, right? This is what we got to look for. Come on.
Says, for nation shall rise against nation.
Nation rise up against nation, right?
And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in different places.
Earthquakes all over the place.
And there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrow.
So when the famine comes, which is right at the doorstep right now, Salakia, this is just the beginning of the sorrowful time that's coming upon the earth.
That was recently just an earthquake, like 8.4 or something.
Right. It was.
I'm trying to think of what location it was.
You know, when you was in Babylon, it's an earthquake here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an earthquake here, right. In diverse places. Come on.
It says, verse 9, but take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to the councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake.
So those that are standing up for this truth, some of us, we're gonna have to deal with some tribulation. We're going to deal with the opposition, right? Come on.
For a testimony against them.
All right, the Most High gonna let that happen so we can be a testimony to prophesy unto them, so they can hear this truth. Come on.
And the gospel must first be published among all nations.
The gospel got to be published among all nations because Israel's in all nations. You got to bring that out, man. Hold on, get to 13:3. So we can break down this Matthew 28 and 19. And we shall preach to all nations. Okay, this is why it says that, right? Tobit, chapter 8, chapter 13. You almost there. Chapter 13:3.
13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles.
What does it say now?
Confess him before the Gentiles.
Confess the Most High Yeshai before the Gentiles.
Ye children of Israel.
You Israelites, you do this. Why?
For he hath scattered us among them.
Because Ahia scattered us, the Israelites, among them.
And I know in the last, one of the last, what was that, two lessons ago about the sojourners, strangers, and Gentiles. There are two different Gentiles according to the Bible.
That's right.
Okay, there's ones that Paul is speaking to because they're of the Israelite nation, and there's Gentiles that are not of our nation.
Right.
So understand we're scattered all across. So there are different references of Gentiles. So if you study like self-approved, you'll be able to distinguish between the two. Just like you'll also be able to distinguish back to knowing who the Jews was that supposedly had compromised Yeshua when he was walking on earth and those he had fed.
Wow. And you can do that easy on a strong search. You'll see there's more than one definition for a Gentile. And there's more than one definition for a stranger in the Old Testament as well. You can do that. You can go back to Mark, and you'll get the understanding. If it's the same thing, then the definition should be the same thing every time you search it. If they're all non-Israelite Gentiles, but they're not. Continuing.
This is still Mark chapter 13. Now we're on verse 11. Right. But when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak.
Don't think about what you're gonna say if you get captured. Why?
Neither do ye premeditate. But whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak ye, for it is not ye that speak, but the Holy Ghost.
It's of the Most High that you went in there. So he wants you to go in there and you be easy because he's gonna give you what to say, what he wants you to tell him when that go down. Come on.
Now the brother shall betray the brother to death.
So some brothers are going to be betraying their own brothers to death. Right now, so you can Google this. They got something called a snitch campaign in India. Straight up. And if you know someone that hasn't took the medicine and you go tell on them, they're going to give you, I think it's like 350, whatever the currency they got over there. $350. Matter of fact, it equates to $350 American, which is, I mean, that's what they doing over there. And people is telling on people, it's going to spread. It's going to come to a city near you. But I'm letting you know, in India, they have that right now. You tell on somebody that ain't got it, and they're going to pay you. And then if somebody dies in your family that did get the shot, then they're going to pay you like the same amount. So it's like you can't lose either way. It's the way people looking at it. I can tell on them, and then I get the money, or they can go get this. I can persuade them to go get this shot, and they go get it. What I'm gonna tell them, if they die, then they gonna give me the money too. This is weird stuff, y'all. But this was going on. That's the scripture say. Go ahead.
And the father and the son and children shall rise up against their parents.
There's gonna be a lot of rebellious kids right now. It's already going on, but it's gonna be to an even higher level. Because everybody gonna be in survivor mode in a minute, because everything they've been taught in their Christian church, they're going to see how come, why is this happening? This is why the pastor, y'all gonna be so angry at y'all pastors. Y'all gonna be so mad at these ones that call themselves prophets and prophetess because they have not taught you according to the word. They just sat there and prophesied according to their heart. And this is just truth, y'all. This is just truth. You guys are going to be so angry and so lost. You're not going to know what to do. And you're going to try to talk to the Most High. And like it says in Proverbs 1:27, you're going to seek me, but you're not going to find me. And I'm going to be sitting there laughing at your calamity. You're going to be crying and praying, crying so hard, and you're not even going to listen to you. Because the time where you have liberty to repent right now, to seek him right now, you're not doing that. You just believe in what these pastors are telling you, who are Masons, who are paid pipers to sell you a dream and turn away from your power. And then now when the destruction comes, they're going to be cool. They done sold off. They done sold their soul to destroy you. And they're going to be taken out of the danger. They got a little spot for them because they sold out. And you're going to be sitting there You're gonna be looking real sad, without a plan, without hope. You're gonna question the Bible. You're gonna question your faith. When all you had to do was read it yourself. And this is true. This is right at the door. This ain't 10 years, 5 years. This is right now, y'all. This is about to happen right now. Come on.
And shall cause them to be put to death.
And some of y'all gonna be called to put to death by your family members, probably by beheading, right? Obama ordered the guillotines when he was in office, 38,000 of them from China, or was it 32? But he got enough of them. Electronic, right? Electronic, so push the buttons, click, push the button, click, click, boom, boom. Next one, boom, boom. This is gonna happen, man. They're gonna pull out they're gonna roll out the agenda 21 so they can do their agenda, right? The ones that took the medicine, they're not gonna be living too much longer. I just put it to you like that. And the ones that don't take it, they're gonna take you into the FEMA camps when they declare state of emergency throughout the whole nation. Do what? Lack of food, famine, got forest fires all in California right now. Okay, you got all kind of things that they can just. Now they're coming out with some, what they call it, for energy. They want sustainable energy. They're pushing a sustainable energy pandemic now. The earth is getting too hot. Don't use your electricity. We're going to make it a state of emergency soon. They're going to make you lock down and stay in the house. They're going to do that. And when you don't listen, it's chaos. Too much drama going on. Listen to the military, listen to Guardian. But they're not going to send American troops. They're going to send the UN in there. Right? You got over 500,000 on American soil right now. Covert. You don't know because you're not paying attention to that. It's America. They got over 500,000 UN troops right now. They're not just in Canada. Y'all that saw the YouTube flick. They're not just in Canada. They're in the United States too. And they're going to call in who have no care for the pity of the wound. They don't care about Americans. They will shoot a civilian because they don't care. They're not from here. Americans says, oh yeah, he swore to protect America from enemies, foreign and domestic, right? But these UN, they don't care nothing about that. They gonna kill everybody when they give them that word. Those that are captured, put in FEMA camp, torture you don't want to take a shot. All right, chop his head off. Let's get to the next. This is what you're going to have to endure if you stand Babylon. You want to endure. Come on.
And ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake.
You doing what's right, everybody gonna be hating you for this truth. Come on.
But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
That's when you're saved, when you endure all of this. No, you don't get to get raptured out of the 7-year tribulation. You're in it. All right. That's another lie the Christian church taught you. Oh, you're gonna get out of here. You don't have to worry about that. So don't even read Revelations. Don't even worry, you're not gonna be here. No, you're gonna be right in the thick of that, right? What do you think Psalm 91 is talking about? See 1,000 fall at that left side and 10,000 at that right side? Because you're gonna be right in the thick of it. Those that are keeping the commandments and faithfully in Hamashiach get shot, you're gonna see 1,000 die at your left hand and 10,000 fall at your right hand. Because we're gonna live through this tribulation. You're not taking you out of that. You gotta try you. You see how your faith is, man. Come on.
It says, but when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of,
go ahead,
by Daniel the prophet.
So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of Daniel, which we went broke all the way down to you, which is the altar of Zeus, when you see it, where?
Standing where it ought not.
Set up where it's not supposed to be. Bless your name, Mahaya. Where Satan said he's going to sit on the sides of the north. Well, we read an article that said they can move and they're going to put it on Mount Zion. When you see that there, come on.
It said, let him that readeth understand.
If you read it, understand this, what?
Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains.
So this is a future prophecy, let you know, this is when they finna come at you, full force, full-fledged, and you better be ready to get up out of Dodge or just be ready for war. All right, if you ain't got to the safe place within the borders of the Most High, man, then it's not gonna be a good day for you, man. It's gonna be real dangerous, real rough, real hard for you to make it. If you got a child, This is going to be horrible for you. The world said, most I said, the world is going to see, it's going to be in a state that it has never seen before. All right. It's going to be completely lawless, except for one place. It's one place where it's not going to be. Okay. That's in Zion. Okay. Be the will of the Most High, man, we make it there. All right. When you see this temple of Zeus set up on Mount Zion, and they sacrifice the abomination on that to Yeshai, it ain't gonna be long before he coming. All right, go ahead and bring that. What you got? Thessalonians?
The Second Thessalonians.
Let's get it.
We have 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1.
Mhm,
Says, now we beseech you, brethren,
mhm,
by the coming of our master, Hamashiach Yeshai Christ, the
Mhm.
anointed, and by our gathering together to him,
mhm.
that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand.
So all the stuff that's going on that Yeshai done warned us of, and all the prayers you about to see, don't get shook, hold steadfast to the truth, you know. Come out of Babylon, you have to do that. And you hold it down outside of Babylon the best way you can. If you can't get to this land region, Jordan, okay, where the Most High promised to give us the new covenant, where he promised to protect us, where we're gonna see the King when he comes, if it be his will, in Mount Zion, though. All right, come on.
Verse 3 says, let no man deceive you by any means.
Don't let nobody trick you like they done tricked you already. Okay, come out of the trick. We doing this lesson so you won't be tricked. Don't be worshiping the false doctrine of the Bible. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith of Yeshua, and walk in the fruits of that Spirit, the Holy Spirit. Right? Come on.
For that day shall not come.
The day when Yeshua shall not come until when?
Except there come a falling away first.
Falling away. Come on.
And that man of sin be revealed.
The man of sin. Okay, be revealed, being shown to the earth. Go ahead.
The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. Perdition means continual separation from the Most High. Right? Come on.
Who exposes and exalt himself above all that is called God.
So this one, we're just describing him. He's going to exalt himself above all that is called the Most High.
Or that is worship.
Or that is worship.
So that he as God sitting in the temple of Ahia.
He sitting where?
In the temple of Ahia.
He gonna try to sit in the temple of Ahia on Mount Zion. Come on.
Showing himself that he is Ahia.
Ain't gonna portray himself like he the Most High, y'all. This is what we bringing out to you. When you see the abomination of desolation, which is an altar, that's still around, set up over there, and Satan has sent to that place by his people, the prince, right? It's gonna be the Pope. Pope gonna be there, right? All your fake Jesuits, they gonna be there. They're already there, right? This is when you know, man, some stuff is gonna go down, and the return of Yeshua is not that far away. Come on. Was that in the 4?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go ahead and close it out with Daniel chapter 11 and verse 35. All right, we got one more precept, man, to bring us all the way home. All right. This is what the abomination of desolation is, y'all. This is what you're going to see with your eyes, man, to know the sign of the times, right?
This is in the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 45.
Let's go.
And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace.
So mind you, this is talking about Rome when they will come after the Grecian Empire, but it's twofold understanding. So when he comes the second time, this is what he said he's going to do. Go ahead.
Between the seas and the glorious holy mountain.
He's going to come between the seas. Start from the top, read it again.
And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace.
So he's going to plant his tabernacle of his palace, which we know is the altar of Zeus. Come on.
Between the seas and the glorious holy mountain.
Between the seas, what? The Mediterranean Sea and the Dead/Salt Sea. That's where Mount Zion is, between those two seas, right?
Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him.
But he's going to come to his end when Yeshua comes and bounds him for 1,000 years and destroys all the hosts. You see this? This is what he's going to do, y'all. Right? So, I mean, all glory to the Most High, man. This is the type of study, you know what I'm saying? Glory to the Most High. He put the spirit on all the house of Yahshua that's in the truth. This is what we do. We want to know the truth. We want to know what to watch and pray for. We want to see what these dark speeches mean so we can prepare ourselves, man. All right? It's not a situation where you believe on your shot, just sit around and just wait till he pop up. That's not what time it is, man. You have to be doing things, man. You got to be moving around. You got to be preparing. You got to be praying and fasting, of course, but you physical things you got to be doing. All right, we're prophesied to be brought back to our land before Yeshua gets here. Hear me what I said, man. We got to get put back in that land before Yeshua get here, man. We're going to be in the land before Yeshua get here. A remnant, all right. So you got to know, man, if you can't make it over this area, you better get out of Babylon. Because Babylon cannot be in existence when Yeshua gets here. Because when he gets here, he's going to come on the cusp of the reign of the 10 horns who have not received a kingdom yet. And they're going to be reigning for a short space, namely 1 hour. And this reign only starts after they destroy Babylon, the whore. Yeah, so if you're in Babylon, you'll never see the return of King Yeshua from there. You're never going to see it from there, right? So these are the things that we need to be preparing for. We need to look for, and we pray the Most High have grace and mercy on us, man, because his wrath going to rain on the just as well as the unjust, man. Know that for sure. We're going to be right in the midst of it, but it's his grace, his mercy, us keeping the commandments and the faith in Yeshua, presenting ourselves perfect before him, that he, by the grace of Yeshua, can allow us to be of that remnant if it be his will. All right. Now, ain't nobody saved right now. He endured to the end shall be saved, right? So all glory and praise, honor to the Most High, Yeshua. I pray y'all edified. You got anything on it?
Now you pretty much covered a lot. We covered a lot. Pray. We mutually pray that you have an ear to hear, eyes to see.
Hey, we need prayer, man. Pray for your brother. Pray for yourself. Right? Ask for any understanding you don't have, man, so we can get that promised land, man, so we can get that glory that is promised to us, man. The Most High can't lie. He want to give it to us, but you got to get on board first, right? Come back to the covenant. Come back to the faith in Yeshua and walk in those fruits of the Spirit. Because without those, temperance, gentleness, long-suffering, love, charity, you're not getting there ever. You got to be as a little child, man, humble, right? So all glory to the Most High, Yeshua, Bashim Yeshua, Kwam Yasha Allah. Pray my strength. You know, we going to pray for you. And y'all be blessed. Shalom.
Shalom.